it's getting very dangerous for me to walk around and even speak to people anymore.
What happened?
Because so many people can't get on this show.
Uh-oh.
I was leaving the building last week.
Who'd you run into?
And I ran into Kevin Sorbo, the guy who used to play Hercules.
Oh, please. I was called out to the green room before he got to you. Let me come in and tell you this. We'll tell our stories together.
I mean, let me ask you something, because I get this all the time. I mean, Kevin Sorbo's got to know on some level things aren't exactly hot for him right now in Hollywood. I mean, why is it so shocking to people that they can't get booked on a show?
So there's a really funny move that people like that have. So it's 8:30 last Wednesday, and I've been told that Kevin's out in the outside green room, and he really wants to see me. So I go out there, and the move is, I'd love to say hello to Howard.
Oh.
And I say, well, we're on air right now. And he goes, yeah, that's what I mean. I'd like to come in on the air and just say hello, which is meaning I want to be on the show.
Yeah, people think we have nothing to do.
And that was a day that we had 3 guests.
Yeah, so I go, listen, we're on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. We want to do 2 guests a day. You know, we don't get as many people on. And by the way, today we had 3 guests on. Howard yelled at me for having 3 guests on. So, you know, and he still, seemed a little disappointed that he still couldn't walk in and say hello.
I mean, he's not Bob Hope.
I mean, he's a nice guy, but he really wanted to get in.
Well, he does have an interesting story, because he wrote this book called True Strength, I think.
Yeah.
And it's all about how, you know, as Hercules, you know, he's like in great shape, a strong guy. He actually had an aneurysm and had 3 strokes and almost lost his life.
Because of all the working out?
I don't know exactly what caused it, but, you know, the book is about his comeback. You know, like he lost, his sight was impaired.
So nobody even knew he had a comeback.
It was between seasons of the show, and he
probably
said,
all that working out.
He said at first, I said, well, how did you deal with it? He said, I came back and we shot for like an hour a day. And then we shoot for 2 hours a day. It was an interesting story.
Listen to me, Gary. All of that working out and putting pressure on the joints and the pressure and your head, and it's very difficult. There's too much working out, and really, it's not necessary.
But, Mom, he played Hercules.
Hercules, yeah. He had to work out all the time for Hercules.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, he's supposed to be in incredible shape.
Is that right? Well, listen, your father and I are in good shape. We walk. We go to the gym once a week. But he's overdoing it. And you're overdoing it.
What do you mean?
All that running around. All of that exercise.
Oh, your heel hurts.
Of course. Because of the pounding is very hard on the joints.
Ma, I'm fine. I want to do some exercise. I sit in a chair all day.
Listen, I said movement is good. Your father and I walk.
Yeah, but I'm not 85 fucking years old. I can run.
Oh, yeah? You think that's it? Your father never ran, and neither did I.
Look, I'm not going to talk about this. You're making me cuckoo. And Kevin Sorbo absolutely had to work out hard to be Hercules.
Oh, yeah? All right, look. Yeah, I'm going to go now.
All right, goodbye. That's the lecture.
So anyway, I ran into him later in the afternoon. And I'm just seeing this guy walk by me, and I'm like, oh, that's Kevin Sorbo. And I said, Kevin, hi. And he turned around.
That was your mistake. Why'd you say hello?
I know, but you see somebody, you don't know that this intrigue has gone on.
So I walk. You got to see me walk out. You walk out of here today with me. No one can even catch me. I sprint right out of this building. No one catches me.
Well, I stopped to say hello, and I got the whole, I wanted to come in today, but Gary wouldn't let me.
Well, that means Gary's doing his job.
Yeah, Gary's the bad guy.
Yeah, Gary, why didn't you tell me Kevin Sorbo?
Can I tell you the great game that I play now? It's actually a physical game. We pass on a guest, right? Then we finish the show, and I go to do the wrap-up show, and that guest is sitting in the lobby.
Right.
So I now have to wait till they look the other way and run behind them.
Do you really do that?
I really do that.
My God. Hey,
I've done that with a lot of people.
Speaking of the wrap-up show, I do want to address this. I don't know if you heard it. Chances are you did, but Ronnie and Sal had a real good fight on the wrap-up show.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Ronnie and Sal?
Yeah, Ronnie and Sal. Like, Sal took some low blows to Ronnie about his marriage breaking up. And
really?
It started out
it
with...
was outrageous.
It started out with who would go Skippy on Howard on the show. That's what the conversation started. So then Sal's name came up, and then Sal got mad at Ronnie because Ronnie said, well, Sal's crazy. He could do that. And Sal went right at him.
You are nuts, Sal. Do you know why?
Why?
Because once you make a statement like you make, all your stupid statements, and you say, well, I don't mean that now, once you make that statement, you can never take that statement back.
What, are you, a shrink?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't take that back.
I'm not taking anything back.
No, you say you've improved. You didn't improve.
Sure,
it's
people
all there,
change.
Dude.
People change.
You're still fucking nuts.
Have you not changed?
None of that shit
Have
goes
you not
away.
changed? You used to be a normal, sane man, married to a nice woman with kids, and now you're out. You're this old wacky elf in strip clubs every night. You fucking changed. You went fucking nuts. Look at you. You look like a 4-year-old with a mustache on for Halloween. You're a little fucking
you're so jealous of my life
wacky,
now.
grouchy idiot who parades around in strip clubs. You had a nice family, which I would consider to be normal.
You can't wait. Wait a minute. Who's the guy who can't wait to get to the strip club tonight?
Well, tonight is a special event.
Huh? Who's the guy who can't wait to get there?
But I still have my sanity.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You're not happy.
Yes, I'm very happy.
You're not happy.
I'm extremely happy, you
Don't
asshole.
go down my road where what I did.
Your road is busted and old.
If I wasn't happy, I'd
Your
left.
road is decrepit.
Okay?
You have a dirt road going to nowhere.
You're a stupid ass. You hang
You're
out.
a road where
You're not
fucking
happy.
rapists down south drive up chicks and fuck them and cut their head off. You have no road.
What are you talking about?
Your road is a demented, dark
would you even say
shithole.
something? When would I ever say something like that?
You're not.
Look at this demented shit that you come out
What
with.
demented shit?
You gotta worry about you.
What demented shit if I come out?
You're fucking nuts. You
I'm
really
not
are.
nuts. I'm not nuts.
I mean, you make statements like you make, man. That's fucking nuts. I would never say shit like that.
Oh, because I asked my boss 5 years ago if I could sleep. Guess what? When I worked in Wall Street, I could have asked my boss to stay over.
Boss to sleep in their house.
But your boss,
he's got this fucking size of the house
blizzard.
of a fucking mall. You think there'd be a little room for one of its employees for one goddamn
here
night?
comes the nut.
Let me tell you.
No, I'm asking me.
Let me tell you something. Howard offered to let me sleep in his house a million times when we've had bad weather. Okay.
There you go. So you just proved my point. He let you sleep over.
But he offered. I didn't ask him.
Okay, well, that would...
Why would you even think of asking him?
Because I was confident enough as a friend to ask him because I was in the city. That doesn't make me crazy. To ask somebody who you consider a friend to sleep over is not crazy.
I wouldn't even do it. I'm with him way longer than you. I would never think of asking him, hey, Howard, can I sleep in your house tonight?
Well, that's you.
What are you, a fucking whack job? I'm telling you, you are a whack job.
I'm not a whack job.
He's right.
By the way, we were talking to Sal about how he would be the one to go skipping. He's like, I'm not. I'm perfectly normal. So we brought up the sleeping thing, and he goes, that was a long time ago. I get it now. But in that clip, you could see he doesn't get it because he clearly thinks you were wrong to not let him sleep over.
Yeah, like I have a big enough apartment that I should let him just sleep over.
In the meantime, there are a lot of people who he really was friendlier with that had apartments in the city that he could have asked Will.
Right.
He could have asked a lot of other people.
No, he would be more comfortable at my place.
Of course,
you have the room.
Right.
You practically owe it to him.
You wouldn't even know he was there.
People make big transitions in their life. They're capable of doing it, and that's what I did.
That was the point you made, but you made it sound like what he did was bad and evil for doing it.
I didn't mean it that way.
That's exactly what you meant.
But it's a big transition to go from a
you're
family
backpedaling
to a wild swinging old fart at a strip club. That's a big transition.
Dude, I'm not a swinging old fart at a strip club. I don't live there. I don't know where you get this idea
the point I'm trying to make is that you said
I work for them. I do appearance for them. I go there.
You do a great job.
I'm
Take
not
it easy,
there
old man.
all the
Listen to
time.
me. You're very good.
You think I'm there every goddamn fucking night. You're out of your mind.
Ronnie, the point I'm trying to make is that you said I don't have the ability to change. You changed, and you're doing fine. So I changed.
How do you know
as well.
I'm doing fine? I might not be doing fine. I might have put
and
on
you didn't say he was doing fine at all.
A great show for everybody. Maybe I'm not doing fine.
He says he's happy all the time.
You painted him as the opposite of fine.
You changed and you're not doing fine. I changed and I am doing fine.
No, you're not doing fine.
I'm doing fine. You're not doing fine.
Because your thoughts came out to him about how you felt going back a long time ago.
Big deal.
No, it is a big deal because you can't take back what you've said.
I'm not.
Boy, when those guys argue, it goes on and on and on. Jesus. I'm getting a little woozy from it.
I love in the first clip how Sal used the word demented, and then Ronnie thought it was a good word too. And
he said demented.
So they both sort of go back and forth with demented.
I was surprised either one of them.
Argument.
I was surprised either one of them knew the word demented.
Can they? I think they just knew it sounded cool.
Yeah. Wow. Sal going in there with the marriage stuff and the whole thing.
I think that Robin Salem opened up a door, and now everybody's rushing through it.
Yeah. She kind of she led the way. Now it's Ronnie's whole thing.
There was a breach.
Yeah, there was a breach. No one was really bringing that up.
No one was touching that.
Ooh, wee.
Salvatore.
Yes.
Seemed like the argument you had with Ronnie recently was rather deep-rooted. The fact that you went right for the jugular, you really attacked.
First of all, there is no jugular left in that guy. There's no jugular. There's nothing there. I mean, it's like picking up a cadaver. There's no jugular.
I mean, Sal can't ruffle my feathers. I can say plenty about him, but I don't. There's plenty more I could let out there, and I'm sure that he thinks there's plenty more he could let out on me. But you know what? I got plenty up on him.
Is Ronnie delusional? Do you think that he isn't able to step outside and realize how much he has changed and how much?
Well, Ronnie called me out for not changing. Once you say something, that's it. You can't change. Apparently, he has changed. So, he is delusional. If he's telling me that I can't change, yet he's a man who changed, who's the one that sounds like a stupid asshole?
I'd have to say he does, but...
Right. You have to say who, Greg? The man behind the camera?
Ronnie.
Well, there you go. And you represent the audience. Because right now I'm looking at the audience.
Exactly.
An audience, who's the stupid asshole?
Ronnie.
There you go.
He's a little bit of an idiot, and I told him that to his face, and then I'll tell him whatever I wanted to his face. I'm not afraid to tell him anything. Or you.
I'm not saying you're
afraid. You're a pain in the fucking ass, too.
I know I'm a pain in the ass, but that's my job.
That's fine. But I have no ill feelings towards you. We get along fine, don't we?
We get along swimmingly.
Okay, swimmingly. I like that.
But you and Sal, the fact that you were ready to open up these wounds, you're ready to go for the jugular.
Well, he started it, dude.
Right, but normally if you have an argument with someone that you like, you don't go instantly to use such harsh words.
You got the wrong person, man. I'm not going to stand there. You're going to stand there and attack me. You think I'm going to stand there and take it without shooting back my gun, taking out my gun and shooting you?
I'm just talking about how venomous the argument became. Speaks to the fact that maybe there was a beef between you and Sal prior
to this. It started
out
as a talk about him being a little off the wall for trying to sleep in Howard's house. That's how it started off. Then we went to how I left my wife and I'm living in a strip club and all this kind of bullshit. Where do you translate that to? That's not going for the jugular? I didn't say anything like that to him. I could have said plenty, and I didn't.
He was being honest, and I was being honest. But overall, I like Ronnie, and Ronnie, I tend to believe Ronnie likes me. He probably won't admit it, but we get along. I wouldn't even say ball breaking. I think he was trying to give me a dose of tough love, but it doesn't work with him. He's the last person on earth that you want to get advice from.
You're not gonna take sanity advice from a guy who wears tinted glasses indoors.
No, and skin tight belly shirts and turtlenecks, and a man who dyes his beard and wears skull and crossbone T-shirts on the weekends at the age of 62 years old. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And likes a vibrator rubbed against his asshole. And has dreams about sucking dick and getting fucked with a pussy. That's, yeah. You know what? Come to think of it, I will take sanity advice from him.
You can't take it back.
It's coming from a guy who says, last night I dreamt that I had a pussy and a man was fucking me. And he's talking about me taking back shit? If I had a dream like that, the last thing I would do is say it on a show that has 20 million listeners, you stupid jerk off. God. Case closed. Captain Sanity. You're looking at it.
Yes, Vince. Then we'll get right to the news. Yeah, Vince.
Hey, I was watching an old episode of, this is a question for all you guys. I was watching an old episode of To Catch a Predator. And I was just wondering if you guys had a relative, whether it be a son or a father or anything that got caught in one of those things, how would you handle it? Would you disown him? Would you not talk to him? What would you do?
If my son was a child molester?
Well, if he was going online and meeting,
I would never abandon any of my children. But
what do you do?
I mean, I think at this point if you know he's a child molester, you have him locked up because he's going to ruin some kid. But you have to, right? You can't protect a child molester under any circumstance.
What if it's an uncle, a cousin?
Can't protect them. Got to report them.
But do you have them to family events?
Are the kids there?
It's all adult events?
I don't know. Like if your son...
See, these are sticky issues.
If your son's a child molester, do you have him to family events? Well, hopefully you've reported him to the authorities and he's not available for family events.
They do get out eventually, Howard. They don't lock these people up for life.
Oh. Well, I guess I'd have to have him at family events, but I have to say, hey, everyone, listen.
He has to wear a scarlet letter.
My boy's a child molester. I love him because he's my son, but at the same point, he's fucked up. So, enter at your own risk.
See, that's a problem. On the show, so many people come through, and then they say that they were molested by somebody, and then you say, did you ever see him again? They say, yeah, I see him every year at Christmas.
Yeah.
Right.
We exchange gifts.
It's
I don't
so
know.
uncomfortable.
Doesn't make sense.
Look, I grew up with my molester.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Robin. But Robin couldn't get. You needed a father. I mean, not that you needed a father. How do you get your father out of the house when you're a little kid? You can't.
That's right.
I mean, that's a different situation. He's asking if your dad found out you were the child molester. What do you do?
Well, you know what? I was looking that last week. I did that story about the guy they arrested, and he had porn on his phone, and his zipper was down, and they thought he was one of the guys molesting women in Queens and Brooklyn. And it turns out that they had to let him go after the story broke. But he was still out there in the middle of the night with his zipper down and porn on his phone.
But he was just doing it by himself. He wasn't harming anyone.
So
I want to know what guy...
How do you treat him at Thanksgiving?
I want to know what guy doesn't have porn on his phone.
Yeah, but you're not outside.
You have your dick out of your zipper outside.
Oh, well, that's tough. That's when you know something's wrong.
But so the point is, okay, say you have a son, and your son's a child molester.
Right.
And he's been convicted.
Right.
Done his jail time.
Right.
But in your mind, you know he did it once, and so now you have family gatherings where there's kids there. What do you do?
I think you say to him, hey, son, you are a child molester. I can't have you around children. And evidently you don't know how to conduct yourself with proper behavior.
But I'm cured.
And so we can't.
There's no cure.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can't trust you in those situations. Sometimes your kids can't be part of everything. It's a tough thing to say, but you got to say it.
You can't meet your cousin or your uncle.
Your cousin's a very hot 5-year-old. What are you going to say? Oh, if this happens one more time, you're in big hot water with me. No, you got to say, listen, you broke the trust and you can't be at family gatherings, and it's not going to change. And if the kid can't handle it, tough shit. That's the consequence. Go ahead, Pat. You have the last word.
Yeah, Howard?
Yeah.
I want to ask Robin, on her free time, does she ever go out to the bars or the clubs in New York?
No.
Sure she does. She's lying. Why would you say no?
I don't do it on a regular basis.
He asked if you ever go to bars and clubs to meet guys. You do. You have a pack of gals you go with, and you.
But I haven't done that in a long time. Maybe
why,
I've
you
turned
embarrassed?
over a new leaf. I don't know. I just haven't done it.
Why did you lie to him? That's not like you.
Do the guys hit on her?
It just seemed like the right answer at this moment.
No.
Do the guys hit on her when she's out there?
Sure they do.
I mean, she is attractive. When you go on YouTube, they show pictures throughout the years of Robin. I don't particularly care for her in the WOR days because she cut her hair.
You mean WNBC days?
No, WOR
on the shows.
Oh, she looked
cut
lovely.
Her hair too short, but as she got older,
I like that look with that short little afro, the flat top. That was one of my favorites. I thought I loved your hair like that.
Well,
she'd wear dark glasses and the flat top and big titties. Come on.
Well, she was heavier set than back then, now she's a lot thinner. And she's 56 years old now and more attractive.
I'm much older than that.
She's no hag. No, the thing that saves Robin is she doesn't look her age.
Yeah, absolutely. Most black people don't.
That's not true. I've seen some terrible-looking black people who have aged horribly.
Wow.
I'm not going to mention their names. But Robin, and I don't know that she is aware of this, she looks in her 30s. Now, she's lucky. And any guy listening should realize that.
Well, that's why I'm wondering, when she goes out, that the guys don't hit her. I mean, what is she attracted to? I know she was with Mr. X for a long time.
She is open to a lot of different kind of guys.
Well, let's say she was.
And she goes out and she's friendly and she dances with these guys. She told me what she does. She's embarrassed right now about it, but
I'm not embarrassed.
Sure, she goes out, she dances around. She doesn't particularly like dancing, but she tries.
I need a cock.
Okay. There's no shame in that, Robin.
I need a cock.
Now you're opening up.
So I'm not embarrassed.
Right.
I need a cock.
Well,
Who doesn't?
Like when she's at her apartment building, I mean, and she's in the elevator, don't guys hit on her then? I mean, guys have to hit on you, Robin.
Sure, it happens. What? What's the big deal?
I've been there when guys hit on her. I walked down the street with her one time, and this guy, I believe he was a parking lot attendant, he started coming on to her and saying things in front of me. Now, for all he knew, I could have been her boyfriend, and he could care less.
Well, you guys been around for 30 years. Everybody knows you ain't her boyfriend,
Howard. Well, I don't think this guy was aware of anything.
Well, this guy didn't know who anybody was.
No, I don't think he knew Robin. I don't think he knew me. This was years ago.
But, hey, Robin, are you attracted to just black guys, or are you attracted to white guys? Or?
No, she goes all ways.
I need a cock. I'm attracted to really wonderful people.
She's attracted to anybody.
Not. I mean, you haven't been involved with anybody for years, and what'd you go, 8 years without sex?
Robin, has a total stranger ever hit on you and it worked out?
Well, the guy in the guy in the
book
in the San Francisco, yeah.
Right. Right.
Oh, the guy who she had anal with?
The poop shoot guy.
I didn't want to say that.
First of all, I thought that guy was weird because who, meets someone and the first thing they do is fuck her in the ass? I mean, that's just insane.
He didn't want to get me pregnant.
Yeah, I mean that's insane.
Know me. He just figured, you know what, let's not take a chance.
He looked over Robin and he goes, well, you know what, let's skip your vagina. I say that guy was maybe gay. Because that guy's
nuts.
About
him? Did he dress well, or was he super attractive?
Who knew what he was dressed like? I met him that night.
Yeah, but what attracted you to him?
I don't know. It was a chemistry thing, I guess.
Theo, go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, you were talking about family members that do weird things. Once during a Christmas dinner, I had an uncle who was talking about how hot the other aunts were. And he said, oh, I'd bang her. And he leaned back, adjusted himself on the couch a little bit, stretched out, and blew a load in his pants. Now, when you're a little kid, 7, 8 years old, what do?
He blew a load in his pants at Christmas?
Talking about the ants.
Talking about the ants.
And he blew his load spontaneously without touching himself?
No, he reached in his pants, adjusted a little bit, and stretched out a little bit, and all the other uncles are sitting in the living room watching.
And how do you know he blew his load?
Yeah, dropping loads.
It was that. You got a funny look in your face. No. He got up and cleaned himself up, and what are you doing? You're a little kid.
You
know what I mean?
I never heard of such a thing. I don't know what you do when you're a little kid. You go to your room and hide.
Hello, Robin.
Yes, hello.
May I talk to you for a minute?
Certainly. What is it?
Well, I wanted to talk to you about your I was going to say your clubbing ways, but really your non-clubbing ways. So,
I occasionally go to a club, but not enough to say I'm a club girl.
What is it about going out to bars and clubs and being hit on that's such a turnoff for most women, actually?
Well, it's just that you don't think anybody really serious or that you should bring home would be in a club hitting on you. I don't know why, but that's generally the rationale. It's like, this is just for fun, and, you don't think, that you should bring that guy home.
Because it's such a party atmosphere. There's booze, there's loud music.
Right, and this is what they do. They're here all the time looking for women.
So how does one pick up Robin Quivers? What's the method?
Oh, you know.
Well, I mean, I know, but I'm talking about the general public. I mean, I'm an exception, obviously.
How does one pick up Robin Quivers? How do I know? It just happens, Something happens. You have to either develop a relationship somehow if you constantly put yourself in my way, or, you have to have some kind of a way of getting to me. I don't know. How would I be able to answer that question?
Well, if one were to bump into you in the street and they wanted to make a play for you, what would be what's the only chance they have? Because it's obviously not going to work at a bar or a club.
What's the only chance they have?
How can they become like that legendary San Francisco man?
Obviously, I would have to be in the mood.
It's true. It is a two-way street here.
I can only tell you the people who've been unsuccessful. There was one guy who walked up to me one day and he gave me his card and he said, I'm the right man for you. You don't know it yet, but I'm the right man for you. And I certainly never called him.
So business cards are out.
No, not business cards. It was just like, why would you say that to me? I'm the right man for you. And why would I just take your card? You're some guy walking down the street. That seems odd.
So you'd like a little bit of a clever move, not something shticky like that, but just, are you saying be yourself?
Yeah, I think that's what you have to do. You have to have some self-confidence. The usual things that people say.
Let yourself shine through.
Yeah.
And it may just lead to a date with
right.
Robin Quivers.
Yeah, it could. Who knows?
This is a Howard TV original production.
Here's a taste of what you have to look forward to.
On this episode of The Bonus Show, Ronnie gets busted for snooping around Howard's office.
Why in his office, man?
Looking for a newspaper.
Along with being girlfriendless, JD is also a slob.
I gotta fucking clean it up.
Gary checks the mailbox.
That's actually an excellent question.
And Colin Quinn discloses some fruity information.
I saw West Side Story last year. I'm not ashamed to say it was amazing.
Hello, Stern fans, and welcome to The Bonus Show, a weekly update of all the great behind-the-scenes moments you can't see anywhere else. I'm John Hein.
And I'm Rachel Fine. Now, some people aren't smooth with the ladies. Others have no social skills, and some are just messy slobs. No, I'm not talking about Johnny Hein. I'm talking about this guy.
JD has got all kinds of fast food wrappers and stuff in the garbage pail. That's got to attract bugs, and now the ants are coming in because of JD, I think. That's my theory.
This is what I had for dinner last night. It's an empty soda and McDonald's. But you know what? Maybe I'll just go. Should I just throw it out in the kitchen trash can?
Yeah, like he was.
You could open the door, asshole. So, JD.
Yes.
Does it typically smell in your room?
Huh?
Does it typically smell from all the fast food stuff?
I don't think so.
Garbage?
No.
Have you noticed any bugs in the area?
Not like a lot, no.
Does it look like a bug could live in here? I gotta fucking clean it up. Damn it.
Way back when, before Seth MacFarlane was Seth MacFarlane, he was being pitched to be a guest on the show.
That's right. And some of the staffers loved him so much that they would have done anything for Howard to have him on the show. Anything.
The Howard Stern Show Creative Meeting.
We've been pitched this guy a bunch of times, the guy that created Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane.
Right.
That religious group that went after you went after him like 2 weeks ago, and his statement was, suck my dick, back to them. That was his press release to them.
Wow.
I'll suck his cock.
I think that's like the 10th time that Richard's offered to suck a dick. I'm just saying.
Well, 11 if you count the time he wanted my ice cream.
Super. That image will haunt me. But not as much as Gary's pitch haunts him.
The letter from the mailbag. John from New York says, did you stay and watch the whole game after you threw your pitch? That's actually an excellent question. I did stay and watch the whole game. I made the pitch before the game. I knew it was bad. I went up to the suite, thought, okay, I embarrassed myself in front of the whole stadium, but who else will know besides that? Then around the 4th or 5th inning, I was interviewed by one of the guys in the Mets, and they showed it during the Mets game, and I still thought to myself, well, how bad could it be? Stayed for the whole Mets game, went home, still didn't realize how bad it would be till about 6:15 that night. I got a text on my phone from my buddy Booker, who said, "Oh my God, turn into Channel 2, they're showing your pitch." And that was really the first time I started to understand that it was bigger than that. So I stayed for the whole game and actually managed to, on some odd level, enjoy it.
It's always the people closest to you that you can trust the least.
That's right, John. For instance, the person who's supposed to protect you might be the guy who reeks of mambo and snoops around your office while you are on air.
I'm in his office for a reason.
Steve Langford's trying to get out of the bit, too.
Don't worry about it.
Why in his office, man?
Looking for a newspaper.
He was in Howard's office.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God. You allowed to be in there?
Yeah, I'm allowed to be in there. Yeah.
JD?
JD's not. What do you mean, no? Tell me what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do.
I'm just looking out. I'm just looking out for Howard's best interest. You know, someone in there, and he doesn't know about it. Yeah, God knows what Ronnie's doing in there.
If I'm not allowed in there, then who's allowed in there?
You know what kind of creepy things he could be doing in there? A lot. You're telling me.
Hey, John, do you think flexible strippers are sexy?
Well, I'm married, Rach, so unless that flexible stripper is my wife, I have no comment.
You might have been better to just say nothing there, John. This next segment is aptly named Blast from the Past. That'll make sense in a second.
The Howard Stern Show's Blast from the Past.
Okay, what I was saying, I do some wild push-ups with my legs behind my head, and I can fart each time I do a push-up. I'll show you in the green room. Really? Yeah, it's amazing. Howard will love it. Okay. Want to see it real quick?
Sure, why not?
Okay, check this out. Let me load up first.
Okay.
She's working. Okay.
Okay. Oh dear. Just about dead in this country because think about it. Yeah, you can talk about power. Whoa.
But that's.
I see.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
I thought of that last night, so I've got to bring that up too because farts do have control. You know what I mean?
So you think you could do that over, like if this guy was laying down, you could do it over his head?
Yeah.
All aboard!
Dare I ask, all aboard what?
All aboard the wrap-up train. Next stop, wrap-up show. All aboard!
Here is yet another clip of Angry Ronnie.
Woo-hoo.
Uh-oh, Ronnie's here.
Dude, you're an asshole. That's all I got to say. I got no time for you. But you're a moron because you won't even tell anybody what you do for a living. You're still a fucking asshole.
You know what's so funny about you last week?
He's gone.
You kept calling, you know what's so funny about you, and this is really good.
He left.
When you were calling...
He's gone.
Kenny walked out. Ken, he's not listening. He walked out.
Colin Quinn stopped by and proved that he's so secure in his masculinity that he could speak freely about his love of musical theater.
Howard loves music. If Howard I saw West Side Story last year. I'm not ashamed to say it was amazing.
What made it so amazing?
I'm not going to say it. If I was going to, the dancing.
Can I tell you something about that movie, by the way?
But I swear to God, you should see it.
What do you mean?
I mean, I got to see Promises to the Mountain. No, the dancing's like amazing. Like these guys are like, they look like gangsters because they're all like ripped now. You know, like nowadays, in the old days, nobody worked out when the movie came out. But they're just like jumping up and like, you know, it's like throwing kicks. It's really cool.
So you're admiring the guys' bodies as they dance?
The gentlemen were really well defined.
And wrapping up the wrap-up show is a cute professional wrestling memory from Richard Christie's youth.
How big of a wrestling fan were you?
Oh, in the 80s, I was a huge fan. I used to go see it in Pittsburgh, Kansas. They'd have WWF, and I even pissed off Virgil, Ted DiBiase's bodyguard when I was a little kid.
How did you get under Virgil's skin?
Well, I used to go down with all the little kids would line up where the wrestlers walk in so you could pat the wrestlers on the shoulder. And I used to never trim my fingernails when I was a little kid. Like, they were huge.
Like you trim them now.
I'm filthy. Well, now I get manicures and pedicures, but that's another story. But so I went down and I tried to pat Virgil on the shoulder, and I accidentally cut him with my fingernail. Oh. And he stops on his way to the ring, points in my face. He goes, "You little fucking piece of shit, I had to beat your ass." And I was so shocked, and I was frightened as hell. And then he just walked away, and then every little kid gathered around me and started patting me on the back. They were like, "That was the greatest thing ever. You pissed off Virgil."
My takeaway from that is sheer befuddlement. Richard rarely showers, but he gets mani-pedis regularly. It's interesting.
And my takeaway is the fact that there was a wrestler named Virgin. That's cool.
His name is Virgil, John.
Then that's not as cool, and I have no takeaway.
Hopefully the viewers will have some takeaways from this episode. For John Hein, I'm Rachel Fine. See ya.
Virgil isn't that tough of a name. It's like Francis.
It's like a Greek god, like a Virgil. He's a tough guy.
No.
You know what? Say it to the wrestler's face. How about that?
Virgil?
He's calling you out, Virgil.
No, I'm not.
He called you out.
I'm not.
You've been called.
Take on Bob Backlund, though.
I don't know who that is.
Superstar Ken Patero.
Virgil?
Chief Jay Strongbow?
Can you deal with him, please?
He's the only person alive that still eats Fig Newtons.
Good line there, buddy. Now, if you just delivered like that on your date...
Wow. Damn. Fucking stud Mc... Well, whatever.
Yes!
Fuck you, Steve.
I love you, JD.
Don't worry about the camera.
All right, Chris, order done.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John Hein and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate. On Monday's wrap-up show, we talked about a lot of stuff. JD went on vacation, so his mother and his stepfather, that was some funny stuff. Ronnie, we talked about how Ronnie got scammed by Captain Janks with the hot chick of the week. And then Ronnie was getting very excited by Twitter because he was approaching the 100,000 mark. So during the entire show, he kept looking at his BlackBerry to see whether he made it or not. Do you think he made it? Tune in, you'll find out.
Plenty to discuss as always as JD walks into the room. Thank you for coming down, JD.
Hello.
Everybody have a good break?
Yeah.
Yes.
What'd you do, Gary?
Mostly hung around my neighborhood, hung around my house, went to a couple of concerts and barbecues, and then I went off on the book tour. The paperback came out last week, so I did D.C. on Thursday night, Dallas on Friday night, and Chicago on Saturday.
How'd it go?
Really good. Went really good. And then I'm on Conan this Thursday night. Conan O'Brien, in case you don't know what Conan means. Told my kid, he goes, Conan who? And then I'm doing a signing in Pittsburgh on Saturday, but I really was already on my way there before I had the signing to see the Mets game and then the Huey Lewis concert that follows.
Are you more excited about the Mets and Pirates or the Huey Lewis concert?
I think I'm excited about the Huey Lewis concert.
So you're going out to L.A. for Conan and then coming back to Pittsburgh?
Yes.
So you're all over the place, but this tour is much more truncated.
Then it's done. That's it. That's the end of the tour. Like I said, I was going to Pittsburgh anyway next weekend.
All right. Well, that's cool.
How about you? What'd you do?
Nothing. A few of us went to the Met game last week.
Oh, yeah, I saw some pictures.
Yeah.
Your nose is really red, JD.
I know. I see it in the mirror. Don't worry. It's going away.
Well, we had like sunscreen and hats and everything.
Go ahead.
Do you burn easy, JD? Are you like one of those guys?
I guess. I didn't feel it burning. If I would have felt it burning, I would have used something, but, whatever. Who cares?
Whatever. What about in Florida?
I felt bad for John watching the Pirates
blow a huge 7-0 lead.
You didn't feel bad at all.
Yes,
you were all enjoying it as I suffered.
Yes, I did. Hey, Justin Turner wasn't doing very well for my fantasy team.
Look at us all here bragging about our sub-500 teams.
Exactly. He's no Neil Walker. But do you, when you're in Florida, do you like put on lotion or anything? Because you do burn easily.
I would have if we did something, outdoorsy.
Are you one of those guys, like I had a friend who used to wear like long shorts and high black socks and a hat. He had to wear like a big like that hat that the Chinese people wear. Like, do you burn really easy?
No, I mean, I guess, but no, I'll wear lotion.
You know, it's weird. The Chinese people don't even burn usually.
Then why do they wear the hat?
I don't know. Maybe
that's maybe why.
Maybe that protected them all these years.
Was it your idea to have the alligator tail? Everybody was really surprised by that.
Yes, it was in the appetizer section, and we were at a place called Gators or something. And I was like, yeah, we'll try the gator tail.
I had those in New Orleans. They deep fry that shit. You don't even know what's in it. It may not even be alligator.
It was very tough. Very tough.
New Orleans, they do rattlesnake also. Did you ever have that?
No, I haven't gone that crazy.
I had the turtle soup. That's it.
So it's fried anything, basically? Because it was fried, you were willing to eat it?
No, it was I was just trying alligator tail. What the hell?
I think I know what John's getting at. It doesn't sound like you to be so ambitious or curious about stuff.
Well, sometimes I am. I was feeling, sometimes I feel froggy,
Well, what else did you eat down there?
Well, I ate regular food,
What?
Went to Sonny's, baby back ribs, and pulled pork, and,
Did you have a good time seeing your mom?
Yes, of course.
And it was Lisa also said that you reached the 100,000 follower mark on Twitter.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How meaningful was that to you? And don't lie.
Don't lie.
Yes. How meaningful was it for you to reach 100,000 followers on Twitter?
Well, as in all things, I like to, be, I guess, successful or, just be good at something. And, knowing that 100,000 people are still somewhat interested in, what I have to say and whatnot, it's cool in a way.
What other milestones do you think he's got right now going for him? That's a big milestone for him. It's that and then waiting to turn 40. You know what I mean?
Well, I know what this means to JD. I think as important as he just tried to say it was, it's really important.
Well, who has more followers, you or Ronnie?
Me.
He does.
Oh, okay. He passed you then. Well, no, you didn't. That's right. You started after him.
Yeah, I started in
How many do you have?
99,850.
Oh, so I see.
I'm closing in.
He's closing in. Is that going to be a bummer if he passes you?
No, it's not. It's not necessarily a bummer in that sense. I'm a little jealous of how popular he is, in such a fast amount of time.
Well, how long,
at least
how
on
long,
there.
How long have you been on Twitter?
I've been on a year almost.
Oh, okay.
And I just got the 100,000. He's been on,
February 11th.
Yeah, February. And, he's not only is he verified, he's almost up to 100,000.
Did you ever figure that Twitter was going to take such an important part, become such an important part of your life?
No. Absolutely.
Do you know that Ronnie didn't have an email address till recently?
Yeah.
I'm serious. I said to him, Ronnie, I tried to email you, I don't have your address. He goes, I don't have one of those fucking things. Maybe 8 months ago?
I had one and then I didn't have one.
Right. But I mean, I think at Christmas I tried to send Ronnie an email.
Well, I got it right after Christmas. I got the new one.
So a guy without an email now has an email address and now is a superstar on Twitter.
Yeah. What kind of difference has Twitter made in your life?
Well, the sitcom thing that I'm being offered kind of, I got off, the guy contacted me through Twitter. So that's worth it in itself right there.
Mm-hmm.
And, Hot Chick of the Week is fun until I get scammed,
Are you upset about the scamming?
I was a little upset at first because, you know what? Because, I'm just trying to, have fun with it. And then always got an idiot that has to try and screw with you.
Are we going to run into any wiener-like scandals with you?
No. See, that was another thing, because he put up all these things that I tweeted to this girl, supposedly, who was him. But he was trying to make it like I was doing something inappropriate, and it wasn't. I was just asking questions, if the girl was willing to do it, whether she's willing to put up cool pictures, and that was it. But he was trying to sound like I was doing something like he was doing.
What makes a girl ever answered questions and you said, you know what? I don't like the way she's answering these. She's not going to be a hot girl of the week.
Not really, because pretty much every girl I've put up has been really good. They've been really cool.
Well, you say
except for Captain Jenks.
Well, you say you're posting cool pictures. What exactly makes a cool picture so girls can know what to send?
Here's the deal: what the fans, the followers, whatever, the haters, the assholes, whatever you want to call them, they're always looking for naked. They're looking for some kind of nudity. They're looking for topless. They're always like a girl like the girl who's up now, Christy. She puts up a lot of pictures that she's not nude, but they're very sexy pictures. And they'll go, oh, she's a bore, she's a bummer, she's this, she's that, because she's not putting up, tell her to put up topless, and they spell it out in capital letters, So,
Would you say the pictures that Howard tweets of Beth qualify as cool pictures? Could she be hot chick of the week?
She could be hot chick of the week, but she's not putting nudes up. She's putting cool pictures up. Well, actually, Howard's putting them up, like the picture of the belly button thing. I thought that was really cool because when I first looked at it, I go, "Whoa, that's like almost like an artsy type thing," you know.
And so, this do you expect to get more submissions now for Hot Chick of the Week? Is it going to become?
I don't believe anybody now. That's the whole problem.
Well,
guys have been sending me stuff now right after Jenks, and they're going, oh, you got to check this girl out, you got to check that girl out, and now I don't know who's real and who's not real.
Well, how do you check them out now?
Fuck.
Well, basically, no. Benji, I don't have to fuck him. Stop this. Don't make up shit, okay?
I was just making it up. Ronnie's
Tell him he's got AIDS.
Yeah.
Herpes.
I would scan through a lot of the girls that were on Twitter, and I would see, like I said on the air before, was like I look for girls with the least amount of followers that are good looking.
So you're looking for regular girls. You're not looking for girls who are already sort of established.
Well, I'm not looking for, like the porn, like all the porn chicks mostly. They all have a lot of followers because a lot of guys know who they are from their movies, stuff like that. A lot of the girls that I put up, like what's the first one, Vixen, sexy Vixen, okay, who is now XX Brittany. Vixen Brittany.
Well, she changed her name?
Yeah, she had to because they shut her account down.
Why?
I don't know. Somebody was screwing with it, and she had to shut it down. She lost a lot of her followers. She had like over 10,000. And that was another one because when I found her on there, she had like 206 or 300 followers. By the time I was done with her, she had over 10,000. And she put up a lot of nude pictures, lots, But she's a stripper, and she says she's a stripper.
So I heard like one of your hot girls of the week is like a former Maxim hometown hottie.
Is that Valley Girl?
I don't know.
Valley Girl is from New Hampshire, I think, and she's smoking hot, really smoking hot.
But she was sort of established before. Are you looking for girls?
No, she wasn't really. No, she did.
Well, she was a Maxim hometown hottie,
yeah, but
right?
she didn't have a lot of followers on Twitter. See, that's what I'm looking for.
Is that how you're nobody without Twitter followers?
Well, according to them, because a lot of them send me like I want to be because they want followers. Because they can promote their websites and all this other stuff. So.
What number is like? That's a lot of followers for like a girl, for a regular girl.
Usually, if it's over 1,500, I won't even bother.
So this seems like, Ronnie, it's an America's Got Talent kind of thing. Like you're not looking for anybody who's established or out there. You're trying to find that diamond in the rough and then bring them out to everybody who follows you on Twitter.
Yeah, kind of. It's fun. It's fun.
I can't wait till the first show of any kind where they go. And here she is. She's one of Ronnie Mund's Girls of the Week. Let's hear it for Brittany.
Could happen.
Well, there's this one. Which one was it? Let's see. Real smoking hot girl.
Not Vixen?
No, Vixen was the first one.
You've been doing it for 8 weeks. You don't remember all of them?
Is it 8 weeks?
Wait, wasn't the Valley one the smoking hot?
Yeah, no, it's more than 8 weeks. I think it's more than 8 weeks. The Brett Rossi.
Oh, yeah,
that
smoking
chick,
hot.
She's smoking hot. Did you see her?
Yeah.
You're full of shit.
No, she's smoking hot.
She is. She's very hot. Very hot.
Okay.
And Chris, the one that's up now is hot, but I think she has for reasons that I know why, she has a hard time putting up, topless and shit.
If she put up the topless,
no, because of what she does for a living.
Was she gonna do it between classes?
No.
If she put up the topless picture, would that make her smoking hot like the others, or is that what?
Well, I think she's smoking hot anyway.
Okay.
I mean, the pictures she puts up are real sexy and they're hot. But people get upset. JD will tell you if they don't put up nudes, they get all bent. They want to see more. Now,
Ronnie, what were you telling me during the break? I wanted to get back to it about your followers.
It jumped about 50 since we've been talking about it.
So what?
So I got 103 to go to 100,000.
And are you going to do anything special if you hit the 100,000? When you hit the 100,000, I should say.
No, not really.
Just another day.
Another day in the office.
Are you surprised, Gary, at how much this means to Ronnie? I mean, we've talked about it to death with JD, but Ronnie, I would say it almost means more to Ronnie than it does to JD.
I'm surprised how much it means to him because it meant nothing to him not that long ago. Like probably 8 months ago, he would have gone, Twitter, that's for fucking losers. And now he's like killing on it. And so, yeah, it means a lot to him. I am surprised a little bit.
What you'll see on Howard TV that you can't see here now, obviously, is that Ronnie's got his phone in his hand. And as we're having this conversation, he's looking down at the phone.
Twitter,
constantly.
that's all.
The glare, the screen.
Yeah, picture had big limo wreck today.
I got 43, Gary, because mine says 103.
No, I got to tell you, I don't know. I think I'm at like 143,000. Should I be worried? Is Ronnie breathing down my neck?
No, but JD is.
Well, no, you'll pass me very soon.
Ronnie, hold on. Ronnie Mund has 100,090 followers.
Yeah. Benji Bronk.
Hey, isn't it time we finally tell Ryan that we created Twitter?
Hey, what's up? This is Jason, and on Tuesday's wrap-up show, Benji Bronk was MIA. He was at the hospital getting his ankle checked out. He had gotten into a scuffle with a television reporter or somebody that he was harassing down on the street, and we were debating how hurt he could possibly have been since he was on the show all morning, and whether or not he actually deserved the beatdown that he got. I thought he did.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the wrap-up show. I'm John Hine, joined as always by Gary Delabate.
Hello, hello.
And I don't see Benji Bronk to your right, Gary.
Well, we usually don't when the show starts. Sometimes he moseys on down. But, yeah, he's not in that much pain. I was talking to him a lot about what happened during breaks. And he's not only physically hurting, but he's mentally upset that somebody would do that to him on purpose. Mm-hmm. And his feeling is, I was being a dick, but I don't deserve to have this happen to me.
Do you agree with that?
I sort of do. Standing in front, I don't think that because a guy jumps in front of a camera, it's not like he broke the law.
Well, let me put you in the producer. You're producing that.
Oh, I'd be pissed as shit.
Segment. And this guy who you don't know from Adam jumps in front, to mess around. Your instinct isn't going to get him out of the way?
I'd be pissed as shit, but I wouldn't. I might even try to push him out of the way, like say, hey, come with me or something like that. But I don't think I'd whip a chain at his ankles.
Well, do we know that that's what happened?
I don't know what happened.
Do you think that someone whipped a bike chain at Benji's ankles?
That's what he's telling me.
That's not what I asked you. Do you think that's the case?
Well, then how did his ankle get that way?
Well, I heard, and Jason, maybe you want to explain this. I heard a theory that he fell down and maybe got pushed towards that, and a piece of metal hit your ankle and it would bruise that way.
I'm laughing at we knew someone a long time ago who used to sneak into concerts pretending to be handicapped, and in a wheelchair because he used to record the concerts, and then he got in a car accident. He was really handicapped. I'm thinking of all the times Benji's thrown himself on the ground pretending to get hurt, like when he did it with Soupy Sales. And then he got thrown on the ground, and I was really hurt.
Well, I think Benji is also upset at the fact that Robin is very skeptical and thinks he's milking this injury.
Yeah, he said Robin thinks I'm faking it. And I said, she didn't say you're faking it. She said you're milking it, meaning she could see it's bad. Again, first of all, so it's the morning starts. I'm explaining to Howard that I get a call from Benji at 9 o'clock last night, right? So it's me, John Hine, and JD, and we're talking to Howard. The door flies open, and Benji's on this really old school crutches, wooden crutches.
Yes.
Usually they're metal now and everything like that. And I've talked on the air before. We have what's called the floating floor. So Benji's clumping around, and you could feel the whole floor vibrate.
It was reverberating.
Then JD writes me a note, and as he's writing it, I said, I know what you're writing, because Benji is panting and sweating profusely.
Sweating to death. And we sort of knew what happened, but we didn't know what happened.
But if you didn't know anything, you'd be like, but this is what Benji does to himself, and I feel bad for him. If I didn't tell that story, because Benji called me the night before, the doors would fly open, you go, what the fuck is Benji up to today?
Right? It's a bit. And you know what? That's where Benji sort of cries wolf. He can't complain if someone thinks that's not the case, because he has done that before. He's made his bed in that situation.
He called me last night. He was very serious. He's like, listen, I think I'm going to go to the hospital. And when he said he didn't go to the hospital, I was disappointed in him. He's like, I don't want to spend 5 hours sitting around in the hospital. I was like, well, then you can't complain about the pain.
What did you want to say, JD?
I felt so bad, laughing at him this morning, but Ronnie opened up the door, and Benji was clumping in just slowly, like he could barely move, and it was just so funny.
And you know what? Robin may be a little right, because I've seen people on crutches, and your bad legs off the ground, you can move. Benji was moving like an old lady in a movie.
But the other question is, if your ankle is that hurt, why aren't you at the emergency room? Why don't you have somebody look at it? Is it because, why did he come in this morning?
I sort of get what he was going for. I wouldn't have done it. He didn't want to. He knew he was going to sit in the hospital for 5 hours last night. They probably would X-ray it. He didn't feel like dealing with that, and he figured if he got on the air, someone would get him a better doctor, and that's what someone did.
Well, that might be true, but I mean, there was no way Benji was going to miss his moment in the sun today.
Yes. Oh, is that
there was just no way that was going to happen. I think he could be in a wheelchair today and an eyeball falling out, and there was no way he was going to miss this. Not in a million years. And he got a good doctor out of it.
Yeah, after you saw he got that cable network, he got big coverage on this thing.
Yeah.
He had to show up. He had to.
Right.
But he, in spite of his health, I mean, who knows what's wrong with that ankle now?
But, listen, because I think, I'm fat, I'm out of shape, so I'm going to put myself on the same level as Benji. I was on crutches a few years ago, and they're not that big. I couldn't put my foot on the ground. Like, Benji seems to not want to put his foot on the ground. And it's not pleasurable. It's not fun, but it wasn't like the hard work. Like, Benji, you thought he came out of the war this morning. It was ridiculous. He hurt his ankle, and it somehow affected his entire body.
Benji was acting like he was on the kind of... You ever see in movies where, like, POWs get out and they make their own crutches? That's like he was moving like he had made his own crutches.
Hey, he almost did. He got him at midnight rather than getting him from a doctor.
But I got him at midnight one time when I hurt my... listen, sometimes you hurt yourself and not everything's open. You go to CVS and they have these really cheap, crappy crutches there. But it's the way he's using them. He's putting all his body weight on both crutches and then propelling himself forward. He's like retarded.
Manny in Pennsylvania, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
For all the stupid shit that Benji does, eventually shit like this catches up with you in life. You do enough dumb shit, you're going to get slapped in the mouth.
I agree.
I guess, but, do you think that, like Stuttering John, we used to send him out all the time to ask dumb questions. Do you think he deserves to be hit for that?
No, I don't think anybody deserves to have their person physically harmed in any way, but, people get annoyed when it comes to, things of this nature a lot of times.
I have a comment about this because I don't know how physical it got. I mean, I know what the end result of Benji is, but I don't know what the actual...
John's saying we don't even know that.
Right. I don't know what the actual fight was, but this didn't happen at the press conference. This happened when a woman was doing a stand-up report on the street. Now, I'm just going to put myself in the position of her producer. Now, if you watch the tape, Benji gets in her space. I mean, he steps right in front of her and gets in front of the camera. If I'm her producer, I'm freaking the fuck out that there's a maniac on the street in New York is walking up to my reporter and I'm pushing him out of the way. Hands down.
I think there's a difference between John standing up at the press conference and asking his questions versus what Jason's talking about.
But I guess in my mind, I'm saying I would push a guy out of the way too. I would move him out of the way.
Physically move him out of the way.
The way I'm hearing it is a guy came and whipped a bike chain around his ankle.
Well, and then so I was in the hall when Robin was looking at his ankle, and she's like, "Oh, Kerry's story makes so much more sense now." Kerry called in earlier and said the guy didn't hold Benji down and like whip him with the chain, that he had a chain on, and then they were tussling and the chain was just getting whipped around on its own. And she, because his ankle looks like something definitely hit up it and bruised it, but it doesn't look like someone held him down and beat him
he was making it sound like somebody whipped a chain at him. I got it.
Well, that's what he said. I don't know who has the real story. All I'm saying is the guy on the phone is right. You walk up to a girl doing her job on the street, and which I think is hilarious, by the way. I'm not telling them to not do that.
Do you want him to stop?
No, not at all. But listen, if I was on the other side of that and someone got too close to my reporter, I'd protect her.
My phone started blowing up yesterday. JD called me first, and then Ross called me, and everyone's like, "Did you see Benji? Did you see Benji?" So I happened to go upstairs and I turned on my TV, and it just happened to be on Fox, and it was TiVo. It was doing it. So I saw Benji walk in front of the camera. So I hit the record button. My family, we watched it like 5 times last night. It's the funniest fucking
it's hilarious.
thing.
Now, see, I don't like a few years ago, Sal and Richard stood like 10 feet behind a reporter and started to pretend to make out or really made out on camera, and they got physical with them. And I thought that was bullshit because they weren't anywhere close to this woman or man or whoever. But he was standing right next to her. I don't know.
So if Sal and Rich were making out in front of the reporter, then that would make it okay.
I think as soon as you invade someone's space where somebody could freak out that we don't know who you are and you could be hurting one of our employees, then I think you have to expect to get physical.
Let's talk legally. Say a guy came out and he tackled Benji. If it ever went, and in other words, what is Benji's transgression? What did he do? You say he stood in front of a camera, he looked menacing. What would you say?
I have no idea what the law is. I just think that if Benji's going to get in someone's physical space like that, he has to expect confrontations like that.
You're saying expect it, but do you think legally?
I don't know. I don't honestly. Defense lawyers with all their bullshit. I don't know how those cops got off for rape. I don't know anything about
because they didn't rape.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
they were acquitted.
They were acquitted. That is true. They were acquitted, even though the jury said it made them sick to acquit them.
I mean, I guess he's approaching in a non-threatening manner. You could go down that road, but
what is there a law against that?
I don't know what the law is, but
because if there is, I've been threatened in I've been a person not threatening manner every day I lived in Manhattan.
Yeah.
If Howard was doing something on the street and a complete stranger got close to him, like to the point where you wanted to...
Oh, I have done it.
Right, okay. Now,
I don't know what your legal rights are to do that, but you do it because you're protecting your boss.
Someone who looks like Benji starts walking over.
And
what
you
do
don't
you
know.
do?
I get in between them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, listen, I don't know what happened. I don't know if the guy carried it on too long or if Benji fought back. But the initial contact, whatever it is, I understand it.
Alex in Portland, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to say that Benji's antics at the Wiener press conference were hilarious. Just wanted to give my opinion because that guy called in earlier and said he didn't like Benji, and I think Benji's funny.
Well, I think that caller wasn't going to like Benji no matter what he did earlier in the show, but I don't think any of us are questioning how funny Benji was.
Hilarious.
And
Benji, like a lot of times, it's just like, oh, Benji, what are you doing? But Benji, probably of anybody on this show except for Howard, makes me laugh harder when he hits it out of the park. He always makes me laugh.
Did you think that he, when he was explaining what happened today, regretted doing what he did? Like often he'll say, I know it was uncomfortable. I felt kind of weird doing it, but he feels almost compelled to do it anyway. Did you notice that, like, sort of a contradiction in
Well, which part? The Wiener part or getting in front of the camera one part?
Both, actually. Like, even standing up at the press conference, like, he sounds like, something inside him says, I really shouldn't be asking these questions, but he can't help himself almost. I think that's what he was saying. I mean, you've been in that situation before, Gary, earlier in your days in the show where you had asked those questions, and were you conflicted at all, or was it easy for you to do?
Totally conflicted. I hated it. I hated it. I got a knot in my stomach, and they were so uncomfortable, and I just didn't like doing it. And luckily, Howard took me off that pretty quickly because he realized I can't be fucking with guests and then trying to book the same guests.
Now, was Benji distracting at all during the show today in the studio?
No more than usual.
I mean, no, he always sweats in the studio.
Right.
Well, there's sweating, and then there's, when he got up to go to the bathroom that one time, I mean.
There was one time, I wasn't in the studio when he walked in first thing, so I didn't feel it. So Guy, I guess, was used to it by the 9 o'clock hour. But during that break, Benji started to go to the bathroom, and I couldn't believe how much the floor was shaking. It was ridiculous. I'm like, are you hearing this?
I thought somebody turned on the Sybian at full tilt.
Boom. Boom. Now, Benji got the big laughs at the press conference. He did a great job. But later in the show, and I'm sure he's upset he's not here because we're talking about him so much, but later in the show, it came up how his ex-girlfriend came over to help sort of nurse him and take care of him. And Howard went on about a 10-minute rant about how non-threatening and why would anyone do that. And, he made the joke that he made it again, and then it just kept going. And Benji took it well, but I know he had to be seething inside.
Well, here's the thing that makes it, I feel a little sad about Benji. Like, she's in another relationship and everything. If she didn't come over, who would have?
I'm sure. Well, he said Marianne was on her way over. He could always call Ivy Supersonic, did with that girl he was dating a few months ago, the psychologist. No, I'm not going to feel bad for Benji being lonely, but I will say that I think Howard's right. I mean, my wife, let's put it this way. My wife has a male friend who, I don't know if he's gay or straight or not, but I have no problem leaving her alone with him. Now, I mean, I just don't. I just look at this guy and go, listen, if something's going to happen with you two, then I guess, what am I going to do about it? So I know exactly what Howard's talking about. When you see a guy as a non-threat, it's cool when you're the guy looking that way. And then when you're the non-threat, you're like, fuck you.
So you think Benji was insulted by that?
No, I would think her... yeah. I mean, if I was Benji, I'd be insulted.
Do you think the handful of times that the boyfriend met Benji, he was sweating profusely? And that's what makes him seem
that's what I said to the news. Like, she dated Benji, so who knows what this guy's deal is? You know what I mean? Like, her track record is, they crazy.
I don't know what her track record is.
Her track record that we know.
But I know person. I always used to say that Benji's ex-girlfriend I loved, super smart, really pretty. And like I used to say this about John, the only odd thing about it was she was with Benji.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, Scott DePace came by to talk about Howard's feelings about Anthony Weiner and how he thinks Weiner could recover from this. Well, Scott thinks it's a matter of Weiner being a Democrat and not a Republican, that there's a double standard, which of course infuriated Gary and everybody else in the room. And whenever DePace comes on, there's going to be an argument, which is great. Here we go.
Howard started the show talking about Anthony Weiner, saying that he thinks he can weather the storm. And I don't know if he was excusing the behavior, but he was saying you got to give, if you're honest, and Anthony Weiner's not doing anything that other guys don't do. He just got caught, basically. And I know Scott DePace took issue, and you even said, Scott, that, like, there's a double standard with Republicans. I didn't really understand your argument when you went in there.
There simply is. Recently, if you go through a lot of cases, there's a lot of Democrats who seem to get away with this stuff, and with Republicans, the problem.
But when you say get away, are they getting away with it?
Wrangle did something.
Hold on, but
bad.
are they getting away with it with the voters, or are they getting away with it just in Congress? In other words, have people done stuff and then been reelected?
With the media and the voters. Yeah, Wrangle just got reelected. So,
but that's the vote. That's up to the voters then.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's just I believe there is a double standard. But more than that, the way that Howard was able to just excuse it, I just find it crazy.
He didn't excuse it. He said it's terrible behavior. But
I guarantee he would vote for him.
What's that?
Howard would vote for him.
Oh no, he said he would.
Well, that's excusing it. I just think that a guy that lies, once you lie, you're not any good for public office anymore.
How many public officials do you feel haven't done something corruptible in the course of their lives? You really believe that a lot of people in office?
You're mistaking doing something corruptible from lying about it afterwards.
Okay.
That is the line that I draw.
Then let me rephrase the question. How many public officials do you think haven't lied that are in office right now?
Well, if you're talking about, I don't know. I can't name any that have lied and say I did not do something, and then it comes out that they did. Except Weiner.
Listen, I will tell you now that every president we've ever had in the history of the country has probably lied to the country at one point or another.
You know what? I don't believe that.
You don't?
No, I don't. And I also.
You don't think Bush never lied in 8 years?
His example about Bush lying about weapons mass strike, that is just crazy.
But even take that away, you don't think Bush has ever lied? Or any president. I would say Obama's probably lied at some point.
It depends about what you're lying about and how you're doing it. If it's simply you're trying to shape an argument, that's a little different than what Clinton did, where he lied on the witness stand. That was my big problem with Clinton. Not that he got the blowjob, I could care less. But he lied on the witness stand to save money out of his pocket.
I don't think that's why he lied on the witness stand at all. I think he lied on the witness stand because he was afraid of his wife.
Oh, that marriage was a sham.
You don't know that.
Oh, that's what a lot of insiders have said.
I really think that he didn't want to deal with having to deal with his wife. And that's why. I think it's, by the way, I think it's the same reason why Weiner lied. I think it's more about the wife finding out, having to admit that, than it is about having to admit it to anybody else.
Why do you feel this happens across party lines? Like, why do you dissect it that way?
Well, listen, there's what's her name? Pelosi, when she got into office, she said she was going to change things because there had been 2 or 3 Republican issues that had come up. She was going to drain the swamp, is what she said. And then there were example after example of Democrats getting in trouble, and nothing really happened.
By the way, no Republicans got in trouble at all in that period of time.
Not that I remember. And if they did, yes, one. And he was pulled out. The dude from Alaska, Stevens, who died.
Right, but I'm sure there was. Did you think the Republican guy that was touching shoes in the men's room? Do you think he was you know what I'm talking about?
No. Wasn't he Stevens also?
No.
It was in Midwest. I know you're talking about.
It was a Republican guy. He went into a men's room where it's known for gay activity. He was touching shoes with another guy, which is the way that you say, hey, let's get it on.
That. Was that a Republican? And even if it was.
But do you think that was unfair for him to...
Well, he didn't run again, didn't he?
But I'm just saying, like, if he would, do you think he would have been singled out for coming down on him for that?
But well, I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of examples. Barney Frank, what didn't he?
Barney Frank's gay.
Yeah, but he had an affair with a page, like a young boy. I mean, come on.
But Scott, I think you're kidding yourself if you think it doesn't happen across party lines.
It's not that things don't happen across party lines. I've admitted that. I'm saying how they're treated is differently. That's where the difference comes.
Well, I think people are treated better by their parties. I think it goes that runs. I think the
in other words,
Democrats
a Democrat can do something and get away with it.
That's not true.
Well,
you could say it, and make it up, but you can't really back it up.
It's unbelievable that Wrangle's there. How about the dude who died from West Virginia? He was a KKK guy, and somehow he gets in the Democratic Party.
But somebody voted him in.
High up in the KKK.
Yeah, but you can't listen. Yell at the people of wherever he's
Kennedy,
from.
Ted Kennedy. Come on. At best, he drunk drivingly killed someone. Right?
Totally, I agree with you on that. But you're picking out Democrat examples. If I wanted to research
Republican ones,
I'm sure I could find plenty. I mean, you're acting like Republicans never do anything wrong.
I never said that. I said Republicans, when they do something wrong, they're not allowed to, or not, they don't end up staying in office.
That's not true.
Ted Hastert, all he was.
Yeah, but you're citing one example here, one example there. You're not taking the whole thing.
You haven't
brought up any.
Isn't it possible that it is If there's studies done, maybe it is more one-sided than other that Republicans tend to resign, whether it's right or not.
I don't want to turn this into a political debate show, but what about Iran-Contra, Reagan?
Yes, people were down on that.
Did he lie? Did Reagan lie?
No, that's never been proven that he lied.
Well, that's because he got Alzheimer's before the deposition.
That's not true.
It's true. Read
that
it.
is not true.
It's in what's
that
in
is
his book.
One guy, his son, said it, but his doctors have all said no. That's bullcrap. They didn't get it till '93. That's when he was being deposed. No, that's when he was being deposed. That's Democrats trying to say that Reagan wasn't a good president. He was crazy. That's what that is.
Wasn't that the son, or no? Maybe that was the other son. Michael Reagan said he didn't recognize him at his high school graduation.
It was in Bob Woodward's book. Called The Presidents, where he went to go depose and he couldn't remember.
And I guess
he
the doctors lied too.
He didn't remember that Alexander Haig was his Secretary of State, but whatever.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate. On Monday's wrap-up show, we talked about Benji and his new girlfriend. I'm not saying her name. And this new song that they have out, where Benji's totally auto-tuned. And I said that I think Benji's looking for attention. And I said I also thought that his girlfriend likes the attention, because she wants to sell more songs. Benji disagreed. Everybody in the show weighed in, and here's how it went.
I'd like to move off of Ralph and Ronnie and on to Benji today because Lisa came in with a news story about that duet you recorded with Elisa, and quickly it turned into you and Howard were going at it a little bit there. Were you offended that he asked you that why aren't you sleeping with this girl by now? It's been a year already.
Well, first of all, things get easily characterized one way. Like Robin said once, and this is very true with the show, things become comedy truth. So it can just be something someone throws out there, and then suddenly it's true. And yeah, I was offended that he decides I'm not a man if we haven't had intercourse yet. I don't like to be characterized that way. If he feels that way, that's fine. But I was getting angry in the moment.
But it was more than that. He was also saying how and maybe I'm reading between the lines incorrectly here, but he feels you're being used a little bit here with Elisa. And I mean, I think the question was posed, if the show went away, does your relationship still exist? And he said no.
Well, I absolutely don't think that. I mean, we're boyfriend, girlfriend. She's in love with me. I'm in love with her. And it's a great, nice beginning of a relationship.
Is the news now stopping any stories about Benji and Elisa per Howard?
I got to tell you, I mean, for Lisa to come off of this beat and not do any more stories, she's shaking like a heroin addict in withdrawals back there. She's this was her thing in a weird way. She was obsessed with this story, and I think it's a good thing for Lisa that we stopped doing this and she.
You think she put too much into it?
Oh yeah, I think she was. I think. Personally, this is just my opinion, but I think she likes Benji. I think she cares for Benji, and I think she feels that he might be being misled or used.
So we should go there for a second because we had this conversation during the break. The TV guys were hitting me like crazy because I wasn't looking at the screen, and they were saying that once Benji said something to indicate to Lisa that they were really boyfriend and girlfriend, and they said that Lisa got really sad. The feeling was like her whole body language changed. And I thought they were sad that, I thought they were saying that Lisa was sad that she was jealous of Benji having a relationship. But they were saying that she likes Benji.
Well, and Lisa, I've told you this from day one, she likes to, throw like a jump ball type question in the newsroom for all of us to discuss at certain points. And, a lot of it is kind of weird stuff. But since this whole thing went down with Benji and Elisa, She's been throwing it out there maybe every day.
Throwing what out there?
Like, so what do you think's going to happen between these two? Do you really think they're living together? Do you know? And it's just it's a lot of questions every day.
I could play big armchair psychologist, and I could say to myself, I wonder if Lisa saw Benji, the diamond in the rough, but of course, looks at him and goes, I like it, but I would need to change a bunch of things about him. And then seeing that somebody did change a bunch of things about him that she likes.
Yeah, it could have been her. Ronnie, you're an expert in all things, Lisa. Do you think there's a little crush, a little jealousy going on here?
I'm not sure if it's a crush or it's she's worried that he's going to get hurt, because that's what she keeps saying to me. That she's worried he's going to get hurt.
She's worried that Benji's going to get hurt.
That he's going to get hurt.
This whole environment has this thing when you step beyond the box. Oh, you can't do that. That's not what we expected, and you're going to get hurt. They just were doing that with Ronnie about the TV show.
Hold on,
what's going to happen if all this goes away?
But Benji, you're not an innocent in all this, and I look at like you're playing it in here like, oh, you can't step outside the box. But you want to tell everybody, hey, we're in love, we're doing this whole thing, and then you make that song and put it out there and act like we're not going to get it, listen to it, and critique it.
Oh, you can critique it. I think it's a wonderful song. I think it's a great song.
But I also think it's you and Elisa starving for attention is what it is.
Oh, okay, so Gary. So fine.
No, it is. It's what it is. It's just, I think you guys want to be noticed by the show. I think you like that.
It is fun. We were both performers to get. What are you laughing about, Gary?
Because you're different kinds of. You're a performer, no doubt, but you're not a singer.
Yes, I am.
Well, now you are because you said you are.
Well, and I sang a song, and it's recorded, and it's very, very fucking good.
Well, that's an opinion. Everything you said was a fact up until then.
You're right. And I don't change it by saying it's great. You don't say it by saying it's not great. It's out there. It's a piece of art. You can judge it. It's called Online Sweetheart. Google it.
It's interesting because you never judge anybody who puts stuff out there before.
What?
You don't. You sit in the chair every day and write jokes about you. You're always judging people. And then when you get judged, you seem to be irritated.
I'm not irritated by someone saying that. I wasn't irritated by the song being judged.
So what irritated you today?
When Howard says like, oh, you're a pussy, you're being effeminate if you haven't had sex yet. That irritates me.
I don't think it was just about the sex, though. He's saying that you're jumping through all these hoops. You're making all these changes.
How's that? Wait.
Whoa! Stop the clock.
See, now we're going to. I can do this. Now we're going to the vortex. But how come Lisa wears makeup? How come Gary get his teeth fixed?
Gary, let me answer.
Okay.
Do you find it unusual that I would have fun recording a song? How about a yes or no?
No. Yes. No, I don't find it unusual. Yes, it's odd that you're taking. I think you're taking it a little serious, and I think you have ulterior motives.
What's the ulterior motive?
To try to get her on the air. To try to make her super famous.
Okay, so I enjoy recording a song, and yeah, we want it to be successful. It's a very good song. I want it to be played everywhere.
I don't believe that you want to get it out there as a piece of art. I think you want to get it out there. I think you want to get it out there for a reason that has nothing to do with music. Whether it's being famous or getting her famous.
I enjoy all that stuff. Yes, I would enjoy making money off it. I enjoy getting played.
I don't think you want to make money off it.
But I do think it's a really great song, and I think I did a really good job in it. But that part you'll have to judge for yourself.
Ronnie, did you think Howard was off base when he told Benji that it's not very, I'm not going to use the words he used, but it's not very manly to have gone with this girl for this long, be sleeping next to her and have not had sex at this point?
Well, that's his opinion. He could say what he wants. But in my opinion, with this whole thing, with Benji, everybody says that she's using Benji, and I don't feel that. Benji knew what he was getting into from day one with her, okay? He knew.
What was he getting into?
Well, basically, when he first met her, they were friends, okay? They weren't romantically involved. He was, in his own way, but she wasn't. So him doing all of these things, what he's doing, is trying to win her over. It's like me writing a poem for somebody. It's the same thing.
We're both chasing each other, and we both love each other right now. And
you're in love?
Yes.
You tell her that you love her?
Yes.
And she loves you?
Yes.
She told you that?
Yes.
In a romantic way or a friendly way? Because the way it came across when she was here,
but that was before.
But that wasn't that long ago.
You're right. It changed. But at that time, I was losing weight. She was very impressed what I did, but she thought it took a tremendous balls to get up in front of the press conference. And she even said, if you listen to that thing, like, hey, I do love him. I don't. It's like I'm not attracted, but then I get so torn because I am so into him.
Do you think that she's in love with the fame?
No. Absolutely not. I think she enjoys it, and I enjoy it too. I enjoy her talents. I enjoy, I enjoy that kind of stuff. But it's not. I don't think that's what she's in love with.
I got to ask you a question. This is something that a lot of guys go through. So I'm not just picking on you. Is there any part of you?
Smell?
No. Is there any part of you that wonders to yourself, if I didn't talk about her on the air all the time, would things be a little different?
No, I mean, not. I could play with that, like just in the same way. I'd never seriously pondered suicide, but I can intellectually think about it. But no, it's not like a thought like that.
When you wear the hats with Elisa's name on them all over the place into work, is that because you're in love with her, or is that because you're seeking some sort of odd attention?
When I wear hats with her name, it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing.
But that's the answer. The question is it because you love her so much, or because you're seeking some sort of odd attention?
I would say it's both.
I think part of their love is shtick. I mean, she gets off on it, and he enjoys doing it.
But my problem is you can't be upset with people giving you shit for this because all you're doing is bringing this into the spotlight. This is all your own doing. Like for example, Richie Wilson's engaged. There's other people here that are in relationships that it's not in the spotlight. There's not people pulling Richie Wilson inside and going, "Hey, watch your ass."
Well, surely,
you know what I mean?
I agree with you. But I can still have an emotional reaction when I think people are being mean about something or lying.
But the only reason
something.
they have an opinion is because you brought it out there.
That's fine. But there's you can have. You're right. I would expect reaction to it and opinions about it, but I'm not gonna I'm gonna react too when they bring their things out.
So here's a question I have for you: if JD came in tomorrow and said he was dating a girl and he went through all the stuff that you're going through, and JD came in with a song where he was auto-tuned to death. And don't say you weren't because you were. And it's like
that's how I sing.
It's like a fun, it's like a fun song. You wouldn't write jokes for Howard about that.
Yeah, I don't think. I think I think I would do it in a more like "I love you, you're a schmuck" kind of way. But I think you guys sometimes do it in a more mean-spirited way.
By the way,
I haven't been doing it. By the way,
if that's the way you sing, you might have a case against a gentleman by the name of T-Pain. You might want to look into suing him.
Was he copying me?
I think so.
I have a question about the whole sex thing. So you guys have made such a big deal about it. First of all, if I came in tomorrow and said, "Oh, we've had intercourse," if you guys asked me about it, would it change your opinion?
Opinion of what?
Of this whole thing.
Well, I mean, consummating a relationship does sort of bring it from one side to the other side. I think a lot of people view it that way.
Okay.
I think the issue more is you being upfront about it. Like if you
being honest about it and saying like, "Hey, so it'd be better if I lied about it." Like,
no, if you said, "You know what, she's special. I really don't want to talk about that kind of thing."
Right.
Versus saying, "No, we haven't. Yes, we have. No, we haven't. Yes, we have."
It's hard. You know what? You're right. I would rather probably go that route, but it's also like it's very like. I always have a problem with that word, anti-ethical to the show.
Anti what?
Ethical, anti-ethical, or something like that. I can't remember how the word's pronounced. No. But anyway, it's not like the show's sort of format. Like, I would like to. I don't think, to me, it's not a big deal.
Did you say you sleep with her naked? She sleeps naked in your bed?
Partially, yeah. Sometimes.
How do you deal with that?
What do you mean?
No, seriously.
See, that's where you act weird. How do you do that? Of course,
that's not a weird question.
No,
how do you sleep?
How do you deal with that?
Next to a girl half naked who you love and you definitely want? I'm assuming want to have sex with.
Yeah.
So,
but I also,
or even just cut. Don't you just even want to like cuddle with her naked?
Wait. I said we haven't had intercourse.
Okay.
That's all I've said. Like, but we've done everything else, and I also sensed I could absolutely have had sex at this point, but I also sensed that I could make it happen, but she doesn't want to.
Oh, that was the other thing.
At this point,
that was the other thing.
She wants to take it a little slower.
That was the other thing I was going to bring up. I've heard your.
I could force her.
I know you could. I've heard your sex stories from the past, and you don't appear to be the kind of guy, a 45-year-old man.
I'm not 45.
You are.
No,
who
I'm not.
wants to wait. You don't. You never. You used to not be able to wait 11 seconds.
No, well, listen. This is someone I'm in love with. I'm looking towards a. This is. I think if it keeps going the way it is, this will be my wife.
I think that's funny. I think that's funny.
I have no problem. Listen, yeah, there's part of me like hormones or whatever. Like, yeah, oh my God, I can't wait. I'm very attracted to her. I love her. I experience like just looking at her. I experience like love and lust at the same time, which is an incredible feeling. But I don't have any problem like taking my time with something like this.
So wait a minute. Yeah. So what are you basically saying? What you're doing right now? Are you you're doing everything with her except intercourse? So are you saving that for when you get married? Is that what you're really doing?
No, it's just like I sense, and we openly talk about it. She'd rather take some time with that.
Gary, when Howard was telling Benji how he felt, he was being sincere, and two, he was pissed in a way.
Well, and I understand what Howard makes a good point. You guys are, I know like teenagers wait or devout Christians wait, but you guys are sort of at the point in life where you sort of know. She must know already.
Right.
So what are you waiting for? Because you know.
It's just I sense.
I was just saying that's his point.
I don't like to. It's funny. I always. When I love somebody, there are things I feel I could get them to do, but I'd want to wait till it's the right time for them too.
But the fact that you guys have been together,
and I know she did it right. She loves making me happy, and I know she would do it right now to make me happy. But I also know she'd rather wait.
For what though? What do you think she's waiting for?
Just a little bit more, just that we're more like.
So she's not fully in love with you then?
Well, I think
because she must have a question in her mind if she's waiting.
I don't think so.
Is she waiting for you to propose?
I don't think so.
But you never stop and think, God, maybe she's on the fence because if she's holding this back, maybe she's not sure about me.
No, I don't.
So she's sure about you.
I don't think that's the case.
So if she's sure about you, what is she holding back for?
I think because she wants us to she feels more comfortable to wait a little bit. Maybe if to you that defines not sure, that's fine. But I'm also not ready to get married today. But if this keeps going the way it is,
if you sleep with her, do you have to marry her?
If you sleep with someone, do you have to marry someone? No,
I mean her.
No, not in America.
I've only known one other guy that has waited with sex with a chick, and that's because he came putting the rubber on.
Hey, I'm John Lieberman with Howard 100 News, and this Tuesday on the wrap-up show, Benji and I really got into it. Benji took issue with my reporting that a tweet came from his account at 8:03 while Howard was in studio interviewing Chuck Zito. Benji took the opportunity to get quite angry, frankly, and try and school me on libel and slander law.
Greg, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys, I love the Chuck Zito interview, but I didn't know if anybody noticed, but Benjali actually sent out a tweet during the Chuck Zito interview promoting his single on iTunes.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that did come up. The news is already working on that. You probably shouldn't tweet while you're working.
Yeah, a bunch of fairies were running around the office yelling at me about that.
Who are the fairies?
Like everyone that was making a thing about that. First of all, I did not tweet.
So who did?
I assume Elisa did.
She's got access to your account?
Yeah.
Holy shit. You gave her your password?
Yeah.
Doesn't she have her own Twitter?
Yeah.
So why'd she tweet on yours?
Because more people are on his.
Yeah.
So how do we know when something's from you and when something's from Elisa?
I don't know. I guess you have to ask me.
I think I'm going to unfollow you now.
Or has she taken your last name? Because your Twitter is Bronk, right?
What do you mean?
What's your Twitter name?
Yeah, my Twitter is Bronk.
I
don't get what you're saying.
I'm saying if she's...
Are we married?
If she's tweeting as you, like how do we...
No. She put it... Yeah, I gave her my password.
You should probably...
I don't give my password to anybody I'm not sleeping with.
Really?
Yeah, what happens when you guys break up? I guess
how many chicks have your password, man?
My wife doesn't have my passwords.
Doesn't?
No.
All right, wait. Let's cut through this.
Why would my wife have my Twitter password?
Benji, you don't see why people would have issue with you assuming it's you tweeting during the interview?
You should ask before you like make accusations.
Okay, but who would imagine?
This is, around here is like innocent till guilty till proven innocent.
But Benji, hold on a second. You have a Twitter account that you've been promoting forever. Who would imagine that someone else is tweeting for you?
Well, you guys.
You're a writer.
I saw you guys running around.
I wasn't running around.
There was no running around, Benji. I'll tell you exactly how it happened. John Lieberman came back with a printout of the screen of your tweet with a timestamp on it and said, "Did you know Benji was tweeting during the show, and what are your thoughts on it?"
That's exactly what happened.
That was the running around.
John put out this fact that wasn't true.
Well, it certainly looked like a fact.
Did you know? Right, but you should find out before you're asking a question.
Well, I think you were the second person he talked to. He started talking to me, and then you came out there in the studio, and he went and talked to you. So he came to you, and I even said
as soon as he could.
Yeah, as soon as he could. And I even said to him, I go, assuming that this is true.
Before he had asked you, he should have checked to see if it was true.
Okay.
Who would imagine that you're not tweeting for yourself? You're a writer. It's your Twitter account. Who would imagine? You're right. He's wrong. But who would imagine that that's the case, Benji?
Maybe no one would have. But I don't think it's on me to say like, hey guys, I have an announcement.
The vortex opens up.
Well, no, but
you guys are.
I understand your point. I do. No, I do. I understand where you're coming from. But you need. Hold on. But Benji, you need to take responsibility for it. Let's say it was Elisa. She knows you're on this show.
Right.
She knows there's an interview going on.
First of all,
it's irresponsible for you being in the studio.
I don't think. Okay, so you want to address that? Is it irresponsible for me to give someone my password?
No.
Is it irresponsible for a tweet from Benji Bronk? As far as I know, online comes out during an interview. I don't think
that's. I don't know. I do not think that's irresponsible.
Well, it is because
what is it? Are there going to be car wrecks or something?
No, but I don't think Howard wants to be distracting from the show while the show is on.
Okay, first of all, I don't think she doesn't have Sirius. So, but yeah, she could assume
She
I'm
knows
I don't,
where
But
you are.
You know this about Elisa. Nobody out there knows. They
I just
think
don't-
it's coming from you.
Okay.
I don't think that's so outlandish.
Okay. I don't think it's irresponsible to give someone access to my Twitter and say, yeah, if you want, tweet that when you want.
John Lieberman's here, and he's got paper.
Here's the thing. I've been a journalist for many years. I asked you, was this your tweet? Now you've had 2 hours to think about a good response that this was actually Elisa tweeting it
you
out.
said at the
Why
time?
not
No,
initially?
I'll tell you why, dude. I'll tell you. Let me fucking answer. Let me fucking answer. Let me fucking answer. Let me fucking answer that question.
Let him fucking answer.
Because I don't like, and you guys, I like you as a person, as Ashkenazi.
Why? How do we know you even like him as a person?
It's on my Twitter.
As an Ashkenazi, shit, dude, just get to the point.
So fuck you, man. Anyway, listen. I don't like this thing with the news when they come and they assume a fact, and before the fact is proven, they start yelling at you about it and saying, people say it's disrespectful that you're doing this.
Okay, then let's pull the Howard TV tapes.
Yes.
And see at that time at 8:03.
And before that, you told me Jason says it's
But how is it not reasonable to assume that your Twitter, which you and
but don't go around saying, don't
hear
go
me
around
out.
saying,
Hear me
don't
out.
go. No,
we
hear
did
me.
a story.
You got your chance.
We did a story 2 weeks ago of you tweeting during the show, and at that point you didn't deny doing it either. So let me ask you this:
So anytime someone doesn't deny, is it the responsibility? No, I'll answer some shit. Is it the responsibility of the person to always deny something if they're accused of something?
How is it not reasonable to assume?
I didn't say that. But it's not reasonable to act on it as a journalist till you find out more information.
Then, as a journalist, when I ask you, Benji,
because you had already told me, you told Jason this, and Jason said it was disrespectful. At that point, I feel you already committed the crime.
Hold on a second. I'm going to jump into this. It's not irresponsible to act on it as a journalist. It may be hold on. Let me finish. It may be irresponsible to go with the story. So he's following a story. He's interviewing people, and now that he
put
knows
out false information.
No, see, now you're just being
How did it go out?
difficult.
It didn't go out on the air or anything. You're the one.
You told Jason that.
Benji, he didn't.
When I'm recording an interview, that doesn't go public, as you well know, until we broadcast
Jason
the
is
story.
another person. You're spreading malicious untruth.
All right, hold on, guys. John, ask
you
Benji.
should have checked with me first.
Benji, hold on a second. You'll get to talk. John, ask Benji your question. What do you want to ask him? Point blank, ask him.
Did you tweet at 8:03 from inside the studio today?
Absolutely not.
Then who tweeted this from your account?
I'm guessing Elisa did.
What does that mean? I'm guessing. Does she have your password?
Yes.
Does anyone?
And do you allow her to tweet on your behalf regularly?
The last week or so, yeah.
Did she ask you if she could tweet out this link to iTunes during the show?
No.
So she did this on her own.
She told me last night, I think the song is going on iTunes soon. Should I put it up on your Twitter when it does? I said, sure.
So when I'm asking you questions, instead of just closing the bathroom door, click, lock, in my face,
I had to pee.
Why can't you say, Lieberman, listen, Elisa has my password and she tweeted it out.
I'll explain
End of
exactly
story then.
why. Because I was upset that you were already going to Jason or anyone else and saying that I did something that I didn't do.
Let me tell you this. I've been doing this a long time, and I think it's reasonable to expect that these tweets are coming from your account.
It might be reasonable to expect to have an assumption, but before you tell other people that, which is basically slander.
It's not libelous or slanderous. Let me explain something to you about the law.
Slander.
It's not libelous or slanderous until it's in the public domain. No,
you're
until
wrong.
it's in the public
You're wrong.
domain.
Slander can be saying
Bullshit.
to one other person.
I can go up to anybody
Okay,
and
look
say...
up slander, dude. Look up slander can be saying
Okay.
to one other person.
All right. Your Penn State education outdoes my Northwestern education on journalism. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying slander can be saying it to one other person.
You don't know it. That's absolutely not true.
All right, I don't want to hear a debate over what slander is. Okay. Look, Benji stated his case. John, you asked your question. Another theory that's floating around here is, Benji, you knew something like this could happen. If something gets tweeted during the show, it causes more attention.
Well, I
to
swear
whatever.
on my life, I did not think of that.
Okay.
Now thinking about it, it says, yeah, that is a funny fucking idea, but I did not think of it that way. No, absolutely
So
not.
if they check the IP address of the tweet, it's going to come up clean?
What do you,
like, in other words, it won't come back to your computer. It'll come back to your computer at home.
No. What do you mean?
In other words, if they were able to follow the IP
Yes.
address of where it came from.
It will not come from the studio.
It will absolutely not.
Okay.
I didn't do it. I'm assuming Elisa did.
But what, if Elisa didn't do it, what are the other possibilities?
That someone broke in and did it. But I doubt that.
Why was
happened.
it
Anthony Weiner? No. I'm saying that. Listen, I don't know absolutely sure, but I'm assuming Elisa did it.
Somebody broke into.
She told me she was going to do it, and she has my password, so I assume she did it.
Somebody broke into my account and tweeted to help me make money.
I don't understand why, and maybe there's no explanation for this, but why you would let her have your, like, why doesn't she tweet for herself and you tweet for yourself?
I think she thought it would be fun.
To tweet as you.
Yeah.
Well, no joke. Just, hey, here's our single.
Yeah.
You realize, in all seriousness, not.
I have some of her passwords too.
But you realize
we have fun with it.
You realize now that it puts anything that you write is now to me questionable because I don't know if it's Benji
All right.
or her.
Well, you know what? I don't think you should make legal assumptions on Twitter anyway, Gary. If you're basing your life on things on Twitter,
I'm not saying I'm basing my life on it. It's just like if you crack a funny joke or you crack a bad joke, I'm not sure if it's you or her.
All right. Well, then you'll have to live with that mystery.
No,
I'm just saying that. No, I'm not shining a light on you like I'm a detective. I'm saying that as a writer, and you want people to follow you, when you give somebody else access, it leaves the whole question of who's writing what open or whether it's interesting or not.
I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think.
No, but that's fine for you. I'm just saying that people might look at it that way.
Let me just ask one final question, because 2 weeks ago we did a piece of you tweeting during the show.
Right.
So let me ask you.
It was during a break, but yeah.
Yes, it was during a break. Was that you tweeting 2 weeks ago when we did the piece during a break?
From what I remember, yes. I mean, if we were talking about the same thing, yeah.
And going back to a question I asked earlier, which I wasn't sure what your answer was, if this was, do you feel it's disrespectful to tweet as the show's going on?
If I had been the one that did it during the show on the air, yeah, I would.
I mean, if Robin did it, if anybody in there did
well,
it.
it depends if you check see if it's okay, or if that's the ongoing relationship that it's okay.
I mean, Gary, correct me if I'm wrong, but Jason, who runs the Stern Show Twitter, is really the only one who should be tweeting during the show.
Yeah, I mean, I look at my Twitter account during the show for show-related stuff, and I said to John Lieberman, maybe once or twice I will tweet out during the show if it's something that I'm looking for that's show-related.
You know, this happened to Robin last year. She tweeted something that had nothing to do with the show. It had to do with her charity during the show.
But it wasn't her.
Then she later claimed that it wasn't her. It was one of her people tweeting.
You've got precedent.
So, yes, you have precedent. Or
I have precedent?
You've that too. No, you have precedent. Somebody else was tweeting on Robin's behalf.
Someone used the same excuse. Yeah.
See, I bet you I understand how you could be moderately annoyed, but I also don't understand how you could be surprised that people wouldn't jump to that conclusion, because it's a very easy conclusion.
No. I didn't think of that. I honestly didn't think of that ahead of time. But when it happened, I was like, this is funny. This is funny and annoying.
Because I actually like John Lieberman a lot, because I think he's like Langford without being a total asshole. He didn't come up and say, Benji's tweeting during the show. The question he asked me was, if Benji was tweeting out links during the show to his music career, how would you perceive that? And I said, I would perceive that as being very disrespectful to Howard. And then he asked me a few more questions, and I go, well, if you're saying that Benji's tweeting during the show, then yes, but I don't know if he is. And then he produced a picture that showed a tweet was put out from your account, and I said, well, from this picture, it looks like Benji's tweeting. Now, He didn't come up guns blazing and say, Benji's doing this, Benji's doing that, fuck Benji. And he pulled the mic away from me the second you walked out of the studio when we went to break, because he wanted to get your comment first.
I think you should have checked with me first.
Well, he didn't
I think if you have 2.5 hours to come up with another reasonable explanation,
wait, John,
that's a lot of time.
So now you're saying that I'm lying?
I am saying...
Wait. Are you saying I'm lying, yes or no?
I am saying...
Are you accusing me of lying now?
I am saying, why didn't you explain this when I asked you the questions initially?
I answered that because, one, I thought it was annoying what you did, and two, I thought it was funny.
You're annoyed that I'm standing by the elevators every morning to see if you come here on time.
Dude,
that's what you're annoyed about.
John, I'm not.
I mean,
think that's fun.
You're not annoyed about me asking you about it.
But Benji, let me ask a question.
I'm annoyed about the ethics of that.
Benji, let me ask a question.
Which you guys might think is silly, but
Benji,
I do make a big deal.
Hold on. John, do you think Benji sent that tweet at 8:03 from the studio?
I have no proof that he did not send the tweet. And it is reasonable to assume that when a tweet comes from one's account, unless that account was compromised, it is reasonable to assume that it came from that account. So now we will check the IP addresses, as Gary said. We'll check the Howard TV tape, and then we'll come to a definitive conclusion on it.
Benji, go ahead.
Well, yes, you can not know to have everyone under accusations that they're not innocent till proven innocent is bullshit.
In order to libel or slander someone, it has to be put out to the general public. That's how you libel or slander. If I go to JD and I say, JD, Benji's really being an asshole, that is not slanderous or libelous.
I think it is slander. And absolutely under ethically, it's definitely slanderous. But legally, I would absolutely think it is under common law.
Well, the the ultimate defense to slander or libel is truth.
No,
So
that's not the ultimate.
That is absolutely true.
No, it's
We're
not.
getting back
it's not
into
the only
libel
ultimate
slander,
defense.
guys.
It's not the only ultimate
Ted,
defense.
let's take a break.
Hi, everybody. It's Sal Governelli, and welcome to Wednesday's wrap-up show. On this show, we discuss the greatest band in the world, Kiss. Should they be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? You decide. We also discussed the Beastie Boys, who I personally love, and they made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And we finally discussed little incidents between me and my wife at concerts. Check it out.
Well, Sal's here. We were talking about why you got so choked up over Ace Frehley and getting back together with Kiss and performing back in the New York Groove.
Well, it was always a dream of mine to see Kiss live. You know, I loved.
You never saw them live back in the day?
No, my dad never took me to any shows. I didn't go anywhere as a kid. I barely went bowling. So when I was a kid,
that's a tragedy.
And when I was a child, I just really loved Kiss. I mean, I was totally enamored by them.
So I remember seeing Kiss like in 1975 at the Nassau Coliseum. When you were a kid, did they play the Coliseum yet you couldn't go?
Yeah, at the time, Kiss was very popular. Yeah, and Kiss would come to town.
They definitely did.
Yeah,
and you just.
I was in fourth grade when I believe Love Gun came out, but no, kids were going at that time.
What was your first album?
My first album was actually would it be a 45, Gary?
Yeah.
The small ones. It was Calling Dr. Love, and I played it on my Bugs Bunny phonograph, which the carrot was the
stylus.
The stylus was a carrot, and I would just sit in I'll never forget, my mom's room. And I would plug in the Bugs Bunny phonograph, and I just play Calling Dr. Love over and over and over. And then I received the Rock and Roll Over album, which is the greatest Kiss album of all time.
I figured you'd been to like Alive or Alive 2. Like, you know.
Loved it. Loved Alive, Alive 2. Alive is the second best-selling live album in the world after Peter Frampton Comes Alive.
So when you heard Howard talk about that and you went in, what you said, it was partially being in because the song's about being in New York City and also your love for Kiss. But Benji alluded to the fact that it was more about you remembering your days growing up, sitting there, I guess, with your Bugs Bunny photograph, listening to the record.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, it was a combination of everything. And when I was a kid, I always wanted to go to a Kiss concert. I was never allowed to go to a Kiss concert. And then when Kiss took off the makeup, that was like the biggest kick in the balls I've ever received. I go, oh, you fuck, I'm fucked. I'm never going to see Kiss, like the Kiss that I knew, that I grew up with the makeup, the blood, the fire, the pyrotechnics. And they took off that makeup, and sure as shit, man, they just went right into a...
When did they take off the makeup?
It went right into the creek, into the 80s.
Was that Lick It Up?
It was right after Dynasty.
Unmasked.
Yeah, no, Unmasked was still Kiss. Ace Frehley wasn't on, and Anton Fig from David Letterman's band did a lot of the drum work on Unmasked. And then...
Did they release the 4 solo albums when the makeup came off?
No.
That was before then.
Yeah, the 4 solo albums were with makeup on. That's how you could tell. I remember because when I worked at the record store a couple of years later, we were still returning them.
It was
insane.
It was the biggest disaster ever in the history of, I believe, of Casablanca Records. They shipped out 500,000.
No, they shipped out a million each
of
each record, and I think they took back like 3 million. Aces with that new back in New York Groove was the only one that sold. I mean, huge. One of the biggest blunders in the history of music.
Ace's debut was on Love Gun, which shocked me. That was his debut song, but the solo album
Make Me Feel Better
was New York Groove, which is, I mean, that whole solo album was incredible.
Did you know that that's not even his song?
Yeah, it's not. It's a cover. I didn't know it for the longest time. I think a lot of kids growing up with Ace didn't know it, but then I found out later on, and no, it wasn't. He also covered from the Rolling Stones, Keith Richards' song, 2000 Man.
When you were a kid and you I want to go so badly, your parents wouldn't let you, or you just, it wasn't even possible?
It wasn't even an issue. No, I'm just not going.
Did you ask, or were you too afraid to?
Sure.
You weren't afraid to ask.
Yeah, I'm not taking you to that place with all those crazy people. It's every place. My dad, I was getting stabbed and killed no matter where I was.
Did you not have an aunt or a cousin who you could have gone to?
No, they were all off the boat. You know. My aunt lived across the street. Her husband, Minziona, worked in a pizza place. She was a stay-at-home mom. My grandparents were down nobody.
So it wasn't so much...
And my Uncle Nicky loved Elvis.
Was it about, it was more about what Kiss was than, we're not paying for that? Or, would they take you to any kind of entertainment type things?
Nothing. I've never been to anything as a kid.
Did you go to movies?
The circus?
Movies. I went. There was this guy named Nino who was my dad's good friend. And after we would close up the pizza shop,
once in a while, my dad would give Nino money to take me to the movies. So that was my only memory as far as movies are concerned. I think we saw Superman 2. And some other 3D movie back then.
Well, today Howard...
And then Nino died, God bless him.
Today Howard brought up the whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing, and Robin was all upset about Cat Stevens and how he can even be considered, even though he's not in, but he should be. But then when Kiss comes up, Sal, immediately both Howard, Gary, everyone is like, no, I mean, Kiss is, they're a novelty act, they're fun to see live, but they're not worthy of the Hall of Fame.
All right, well, you can also argue that the Beastie Boys, were a novelty act when they first started. They were a parody
and then
rap
they changed,
act.
And then they changed.
Yeah.
Then they became very not novelty.
But I don't think Kiss, I think Kiss was just the opposite. Kiss came out, they had a different look, they were inspired by the New York Dolls, and a lot of people, and Alice Cooper was involved in that kind of shtick as well. But as time went on, Gene turned into a merchandising maniac.
But that's not a reason to be in a music hall of fame.
No, but I think the novelty now with Kiss is the Kiss casket, the Kiss umbrellas, the Kiss, just these stupid Kiss items that Gene puts out. I think Gene single-handedly ruined the legacy of Kiss with all these stupid things, lunch boxes and fishing poles and all that other shit that they put out. But if you look at Kiss stripped down, back in the 70s, like Kiss Alive, that was nothing but hardcore rock and roll. It really was. I mean, a lot of music certainly alludes a feeling. Kiss certainly assisted in that with the pyrotechniques and the makeup. They brought rock and roll to life. Kiss wasn't only musically, it wasn't also only for the ears, it was also for the eyes. And I think the combination of the two made them a phenomenal rock and roll band. And for them to be, shut out, it's just disgusting. It's blasphemous in the history of music.
Now, if you had a choice, I think I know the answers. Is it Kiss or Beastie Boys for you?
That's a great question. For Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I think is poorly put together, it should be Pop and Rock Hall of Fame.
Forget that. Like it should be. You've only got one. It's the end of your life, and you can only go see one show. Door number 1 is the Beastie Boys, and door number 2 is Kiss. Which one are you going to?
Wow, that's like a Sophie's choice for me.
A what?
It's like almost like I have to get rid of one. A Sophie's choice.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear what you said.
Wow. That is really, really hard to answer.
Got to pick one.
God.
Take your time. Yeah, take your time. We're on the radio.
Yeah.
Silence
I know.
I'm
so sorry. I'd have to go with the Beastie Boys because they have integrity.
Really?
Yeah. Because
I was betting the farm you were going with Kiss because it meant more to you on an emotional level.
And also, Kiss's live show is all pyrotechnics and stuff like that, whereas Beastie Boys isn't necessarily the same kind of show.
At the same time, you have to give credit to the Beastie Boys that they didn't need to rely so much on the visuals of it.
Now, you were president of the Beastie Revolution. We've talked about that before.
Yes, on Prodigy.
But with Kiss and the Kiss Army, you didn't take any leadership role there with the fans?
I didn't have I wasn't accessible to that stuff.
Did you put makeup on as a kid?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
And what'd your parents say?
Nothing. They let me do it. That wasn't a big deal to them.
Were you Ace?
Yeah, I was Ace. I was Gene. And now, my kids, I created a band called the Little Gods of Thunder. I put them in makeup, and Antonio plays the drums, and Aiden plays the bass. So it's pretty cool. So I did that. The kids got a, but now my kids are done with Kiss too. They could.
Yeah, at my house we have a band called Thunder Road. Jackson's Clarence Clemens and Lucas is Max
Hello
Weinberg.
there, Daddy. Can I be Clarence?
I'm not even going to get into the band that we have at home, but let's just say it's a trio. Tony, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Hey, I think I know why. I'm sorry to throw you under the bus, Sal. I love you, buddy.
That's okay. I'm ready to take it, sir. Let me bend over and drop my pants. Go ahead.
I think I know why Sal got so emotional with Kiss, and that's because, his wife and him, that's something that they both share. I mean, that's something. She's a big fan of Kiss too, if I remember right.
No, she came to a concert. My wife, she hates Kiss. Well, she doesn't hate them anymore, but she's come to a few concerts with the kids.
I seem to remember unlike Sal, I'm friends with her on Facebook. And I seem to remember her mentioning on there a few different times how big a
message her and ask her what's for dinner tonight for me, please.
But I seem to remember her mentioning how she was a fan of Kiss and everything, and I just figured that was something maybe he was looking forward to, something that they could do together that they wouldn't argue and fight about. They could go to a Kiss concert and not kill each other, and maybe he'd get some afterwards.
Yeah, the loud music certainly drowns her out, so we do not fight at the Kiss concerts. But she goes, she's supportive with it, and the kids loved Kiss at a time. And
don't you guys bond over like Elton John or other musical artists?
We went to an Elton John concert, and I have to say, first of all, thank you. Ross Zapin really hooked me up. It's when I first came here, and we were 10th row. We were in the Friends, Family, and co-workers section.
Right.
Ross Zapin did something really sweet. Thank you, Ross. And I took my wife 10th row, and we were, literally dead center with Elton John. He's singing, and his performance was magnificent. And I'm holding my wife's hand, and it was like such an intimate time. And he sung a song. I don't know what it was. It was Daniel or something. And I turned to her and I kissed her, and she goes, "Oof, your breath smells like shit." And that's the only thing I can remember from that whole night.
That's very sweet.
But Elton John kind of brought us together. We've gone to a Billy Joel concert. Her parents got into a fight on the way there. They almost hit a pole on the way to the Coliseum because my mother-in-law made the wrong turn. My father-in-law grabbed the steering wheel. She punched him in the arm. So that was our Billy Joel experience. We have an Elton John one and Kiss.
Who would you say are bands that would cite Kiss as a big influence?
Well, Dimebag Darrell from Pantera was hugely influenced.
Yeah, I don't like
by
them either.
Ace Frehley. Well,
I was not a big
I'm not a
Pantera
huge Pantera fan as well, but there are so many bands out
like
there.
Who?
I really don't know. I know about Dimebag specifically, but there are a lot of bands. Okay, for example, Pearl Jam. Mike McCready, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know exactly the names of the players. He is hugely influenced by Ace Frehley. As a matter of fact, there's a song in Alive. The solo was taken directly from a solo that Ace Frehley did, the intros, and they invited Ace Frehley down to Madison Square Garden to perform with them. So Pearl Jam, I don't think you could get a better example.
When Rush broke out in America, they were touring with Kiss.
Is that right?
Yeah, Kiss made a huge impact with them. Like the Rush guys would go back to the hotel room and write music, and Gene Simmons like, "Who are these assholes? Like, don't they have a good time out on the road?" It's part of the DVD.
Two bands snubbed by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I believe it started where Kiss opened for Rush, right? And a few years later, Rush opened for Kiss.
On Thursday's wrap-up show, all eyes were on J.D. Harmeyer. J.D. tried to play a little joke by not telling Gary that Howard was still sleeping in the back. And on Howard's show, Howard just ripped apart J.D. He felt bad. Gary also felt hurt. J.D. tried to explain himself, and that is where the show is, folks. Here we go.
We should lead off with what Howard started the show with, and that was the story about J.D. letting Gary wake up Howard during his nap. And I don't know if the blame was fair to give to you, J.D. I guess Lee went in there to take the blame, and Ronnie said he was partly at fault, and everyone was saying, "Oh, it's my fault." But Howard was, one, genuinely pissed off, and two, disappointed, I guess, a little bit in you, JD, because he felt like,
and Gary.
He's got
I am. We'll get to me.
Well, we'll get to Gary's first. Here, so I could talk about Howard because he's not. He said he's always got your back, and in this situation, you didn't have.
When he's not yelling at me on air, but yes, for the most part.
You don't think Howard has your back?
No, he does. He does. I was joking.
And a soft spot for you, but maybe that might be gone now after this. He was really disappointed.
I know, and I feel terrible. I I pissed him off, and then I disappointed Gary.
Now, while you were in there during this, Gary and I were talking a little bit, and Gary said to me point blank, he's like, "Wow, like JD of all people," and he really, you seem genuinely hurt, Gary.
Here's why, and I'll tell you. Here's why. If JD's on the wrap-up show, yeah, I'll take a jab at him. He'll take a jab at me. We'll fuck around. But I don't think I've ever played a practical joke on JD. The hijinks that go on in the office, I stay away from that shit. I let him and Will joust. I let you fuck with him. I sort of leave JD alone in there. So I was surprised that he felt that I needed to be the victim of one of his pranks.
No, first of all, it wasn't like it wasn't really a prank, and there was no premeditation or anything at all. It just sort of happened, and I just sort of let it happen, and then thinking it would be funny to have it translate over into the next morning, and then it just and then whenever.
But what do you think would happen? Is that Howard would go ha ha ha?
No. I thought he would. I thought he would. It would be like the phlegm thing. You know what I mean? I thought it would be sort of to that degree. I didn't think he would be pissed off or he'd rail on you all day or something.
You thought he'd break Gary's balls over waking him up?
Yes, and mine, but whatever. But I did not. As soon as Howard walked out, and then he said told Gary to be quiet, and then he looked at me and goes, "JD, come on." I was like, "Oh fuck me."
So did you know it backfired right then?
It was like, oh shit. And then when we walked in this morning, he called me a prick and an asshole. And then and then when Ronnie said the thing where I said it'd be funny for Gary to get yelled at, and Gary goes, "Oh man, really?" And I was like, "Fuck." It just all went to hell.
Well, what hurt more, the disappointment that Howard showed, or the disappointment that Gary showed?
Both, because there's been these sort of years or whatever of I guess trust or whatever, and sort of. I try not to rock the boat, and then I ended up rocking the boat by not doing something, and just...
Now, do you feel that you are you, which is fine. I don't. It's like, listen, in the scheme of things, was it that big of a deal? No, but like, do you feel? Are you more like hurt that they are like disappointed in you, or do you now look back and say, "Oh, I did the wrong thing"?
Both. There is, as dumb as, well, it's not dumb, but there is I feel I've taken a responsibility into myself, having an office next to Howard. I realize after, to show how important he gets his quote unquote work done.
So with a close office comes great responsibility.
Yes, and 99% of the time, I'm usually good at quieting people down and stuff, and I would go out of my way to tell someone down the hall to be quiet, and then
but is it your job to tell someone down the hall to be quiet?
It sort of is.
Or does that fall on? Well, who's responsible for the hallways?
Well, everybody's responsible for themselves. But I want to start by saying, first of all, the whole thing's on tape, which is great because I was taping it for Howard TV. Yeah. So Howard goes out of his office and the camera's swings around. I was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't even think Howard was still there." I think I said this on the air this morning, but we were doing pickup shots from a bit that we're doing for me giving a tour of the studio that's going to run on Howard TV. So I finished the wrap-up show, and I said, "Okay, I'm ready to do it." And they said, "Let's go." But nobody said, "Oh, by the way, keep it down in the halls. Howard's still here." I didn't think Howard was still there. Like, we just saw Howard walk by. He usually leaves sometime during the wrap-up show, but not always. And so, on top of that, I was only supposed to go to Richard and Sal's office because the day we shot it, they weren't there. But I realized while we were doing it, the day we shot it, JD wasn't there. He went home.
No, I was there. We had shot. That was another thing. Like, he was redoing something that he had already done.
See, I forgot. I thought you weren't there that day. So anyway, that's what happened. But the other thing that was interesting was I went right back to my office. And I called Howard, and I got his voicemail, and I said, "Listen, man, I'm really sorry. I had no idea that you were still here. I was doing the shot," and I go, "I apologize. I didn't mean to wake you up." And I left a message. He called me back, I don't know, like 5 o'clock last night, and he said, "Listen, man, I got your message. Don't worry. It's no big deal. It's good. Don't even give it a second thought." So I didn't, and I should have.
Yeah, because look what you walked into this morning. But now, is it someone?
It's not Gary's fault. I'm the blame.
And I want to bring someone else into this too, who sort of skated away a little too easily. Ronnie, we walked down the hall, and Ronnie goes to me. He says, "I told you guys, I warned you guys," and I was like, "Nobody said or warned me about anything."
That's my next question. Should you know coming out of here that maybe Howard could be in there, so you shouldn't go down there? Or does Ronnie have? Because did you see Ronnie when you walked back? Because if Ronnie's here, Howard's still here.
I don't remember if I saw Ronnie when I walked back. Sometimes he's in TV. I don't remember seeing him. My first recollection of seeing him was after when he said to me, "I warned you guys. I told you guys."
So
but he was in the hallway while it was going on, and he might have said, "Gary, he's still here," and I would have gone, "Okay, we'll shoot this later."
So wait, did he warn you?
No.
So what do you think? Do you think he was just?
I don't know what he was thinking.
He said he was getting his coat because it was almost time.
Which is fine. If he was getting his coat and he didn't see it, then don't say, "I warned you." Because you didn't.
Well, maybe he feels that there's a global warning. Like, you should know that at that time you shouldn't be messing with that corner of the office. And it's not the first time Howard's walked out, and he's had to shut a couple other people up, right, JD?
If I would have known when we built this studio, I was telling you, John, I went to visit a friend the other day who has a home theater, his apartment in the city, and I was telling you how soundproofed it is. Like, and it's not that expensive to soundproof a room. Had I known that Howard was going to use that room the way he does, I would have soundproofed it better. There's just special sheetrock you can use that's soundproof, and I would have put a better seal on the door.
Well, that's what I was told, early on or whatever. I was told that it was, pretty soundproof because that's what they knew. They didn't want my work to disturb Howard. But, I guess sometimes when my door is open, it can get through his door, and that's the whole other
I didn't realize that you took on the role of sort of a gatekeeper there and keeping people quiet, and you assumed that responsibility having the office next to Howard's.
Well, you've seen it enough times, and he's talked about it on air, about people talking and stuff, and yeah, kind of.
So when you walked out, was this like the worst you felt in terms of disappointing?
Definitely, yes. Probably one of the worst, and I will just not fuck around anymore. I need to stay focused and then realize, keep everyone to be quiet.
I don't know that it's JD's responsibility to keep everybody in the hallway quiet, but I do think he had a certain responsibility since I was talking directly to him. In other words, if it's going on outside the room and he's listening to something, but I was talking directly to him and he's just going,
Yeah, JD, did a part of you think like, all right, maybe I should tell Gary, or were you just were you enjoying the moment too much? Knowing
it was
what
both,
could happen?
John. It was happening, and I was thinking, and there was just a lot going on in my head, and I was like, oh, is he talking too loud? And there's a camera. Should I be quiet him off because we're on camera, or should I just let him go? Or it would be funny to have Howard. It was just
who was it? So now that you feel bad, who was it a bigger sin towards, Howard or Gary?
I think he answered that.
Well,
before you walked in.
I should have quieted him down.
What were you going to say, Gary?
The other thing that I find really amusing is, I was moderately disappointed by JD. I was like, wow, because I didn't know that it was premeditated. But
no, it wasn't premeditated.
Well, it was a premeditated omission.
Right. But in other words, it was something that you thought about, you could have stopped and you decided not to. So it wasn't premeditated, but it wasn't, it happened and you let it happen.
Yes.
So I was sort of weirded out by that, but not to the point where like I'm so upset I can never look JD in the eye again. So after that, I happened to go over. I'm thinking about having all the guys from our fantasy football league up to my house on that Sunday after we go on vacation to go sit in the man cave and in the home theater and watch all the games and just have beers and hang out. So I went and talked to JD, and I said, hey, by the way, we're going to do this thing. And JD, he could hardly look at me, and he goes, I guess if you still want me. I was like, well, it's not that bad. It's not like I never want you to come to anywhere again.
You thought it was a pity invite?
No. It was just, he brought this up like a couple minutes after I basically, I don't know, I get the backstabbed him or whatever.
I sent him a note about something to put for the show. And he sent me a note. He goes, it will be hard to look you in the eye for a while.
For a bit.
Yeah, I noticed you can't even turn and look at Gary during this conversation.
No, I'm looking at him a little bit, but who's that? Someone was talking about. No, I can look at him a little bit, but he
can't look me in the eye when everything's fine.
Do you feel like you need to get back at him now in some way, or is
that's another thing?
I'm not. First of all, it wasn't such a great prank that it needs to be.
It wasn't a great prank at all.
But I'm not big into. I don't like doing. Stuttering John and I went through this, and it just got uglier and uglier. He stole the Gary puppet, and then I did the bit where I fired him, where he was curled in the fetal position. And even somebody in the office, I think Kathy was our office manager. She's like, you know what? This has gone way over practical jokes. You fired him, and he almost cried. And I don't like getting into the. If I get him back, then he's going to get me back worse.
And one last question.
I probably wouldn't because I'm not like that.
Well, one last question, JD, on this, and then we'll move on. Do you feel like you've dropped in status in Howard's eyes in some way? Like, do you feel you have to regain trust with Howard now that this has happened?
Well, like I said, not just Howard, but Gary.
I'm not talking about Gary. I'm talking about Howard.
Yeah, okay. Well, both, but yes, Howard. Yeah.
Because when Howard says, I thought you were my bro, and he goes down that path, that's a pretty serious thing to say.
Yes. And I don't think Howard is a sucker. But I just said it just because I knew he would kept going on and on.
You didn't mean it?
No.
By the way, who on the show hasn't been forced to say that to Howard? I know Richard had to say that to him. I think I've been forced to say it to him. Sal, JD, Benji probably, Benji, tell me I'm an ass, right? Tell me I'm an idiot, right? I'm sure at some point you got into that. Very few people haven't been painted into that corner.
Will Murray has now joined us.
Yes.
A lot of times you goof on JD, you make fun of him, you tease him. You guys have this little thing going back and forth.
Can't wait for this.
Today, do you feel like Howard was genuinely disappointed in what JD did? And it's going to hurt in terms of, he almost said, "Okay, I guess JD's leaving the nest." Like, he was.
It is. It was disrespectful. Howard has taken him under his wing. He's been nice to JD, and JD just stepped on him basically. Right?
No, in that one instant, I don't know if it stepped on him, but
listen.
Go ahead.
Treat Howard like a gym and just leave him alone, okay?
Oh.
I want you to treat him like one of those value meals you buy, and just treasure him a little bit. All right?
I'm so glad I stayed for this.
Do you think?
I'm glad you got that line out there.
Do you think Howard was more hurt or Gary was more hurt by what JD did?
Gary should be hurt too. He hired JD. He uses JD's work all the time. He tries to make him into a somewhat professional producer, and this is how he thanks him. It's ridiculous, right?
Yes.
JD, do you hate Will or Jason more?
Right now, I hate Will more.
Why? What'd I do? I'm just saying. I thought it was a little disrespectful.
Be a douchebag.
Huh?
You know what you're doing.
Listen, I'm just saying, I probably wouldn't pull practical jokes on Howard. You know that's a no-no, and you thought you do your own little bit for Howard TV or whatever it was there.
No. There was no bit.
It was a bit.
It was no bit.
You knew the camera was going back there. You knew he was trying to say
I didn't know it was coming back until he actually came back.
What? So why didn't you say anything? Was your mouth full?
Was it a practical joke on Howard or was it a practical joke on Gary?
How many more fat jokes did you write down over there, asshole?
I'm out of jokes.
Exactly.
Well, was it
off the cuff now?
Was it a joke on Howard
off the cuff?
or was it a joke on Gary?
Say that again.
I said, do you feel JD was like pulling a practical joke on Howard or was he pulling
on everyone?
It on Gary?
He's trying to pull one over on everyone. He thinks he's better than everyone around here.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Shut up.
I mean, really.
Now you're being dumb.
No, but I'm just saying, Gary deserves just as much respect as Howard.
I
right?
do. I respect.
So why didn't you say you knew that you were just putting him? You were basically setting a trap for Gary, right?
In that sense, I guess, and not saying something, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I feel bad for it. It backfired on me, and what am I gonna do?
Well, I don't know what else to say.
Anything you want to say to Will?
No, I have nothing to say to Will.
Why?
Ever anymore?
It's getting around lunch. He's getting hungry. Can't think very well. Hey, stop. Come on. Come on. I didn't mean that.
Goodbye.
Don't leave before the plug, JD.
Wait.
No, that's okay. Jimmy. Fuck Will.
Listen. Come on.
Listen what?
Come back.
Listen what?
I noticed you're not running.
Come back. He's got one more joke on his sleeve.
All right, we got to wrap up the wrap-up show. JD, don't go.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, I'm Gary Dell'Abate. On Monday's wrap-up show, we talked about a ton of stuff. We talked about Chelsea Handler. She talked about wanting to be famous, and we talked about whether we wanted to be famous or not. We talked about tipping. We talked about Mitch Patel, my old intern, and his girlfriend came in, and they're swingers, and how she wants to fuck a guy, and he's not into that. And then JD came in and discussed whether he'd be into that. We covered a wide array of subjects, and here's what happened.
Today, Chelsea Handler dropped by, and was Chelsea happy to be up here? In the beginning, she sounded a little tired, but by the end, she was clicking with Howard.
I think she digs the show. I think everybody hates getting up early, and I think part of her personality is that I think part of her comedy is that she's perennially irritated and pissed off. Like, that's sort of part of who she is.
And Howard loves that.
Right.
Yeah, he loves talking to someone who's as pissed off as he is about a lot of different things.
And willing to talk about it.
Right.
And name names.
Right. And which they did. The first thing I thought that got out was Howard's old college pal, Ted. Chelsea didn't hesitate to talk about him at all.
Right.
And they quickly bonded over that.
Howard is never like Ted. Ted is like a thorn in Howard's side. And every time he got more and more successful, it used to irritate the shit out of Howard. You know, he came on our show once.
And how'd that go?
It wasn't as much fun as making fun of him. And I don't make fun of him. I'm saying for Howard, it probably wasn't as much fun as goofing on him.
Now, why is being famous so important to Chelsea?
I don't know. I mean, she sort of said that it's something that she always dreamt of doing, that she wanted to do. I liked when she talked more about how you think that when you get famous, you can really rub it in everybody's faces, and it's not nearly as much fun as you would think it would be.
Well, that's what Howard said when he ran into, he felt sad more than actually, hey, it's time to gloat. But is being famous important to you?
I'd be lying if I said on some level it wasn't. I mean, when I was in college, I thought that I had a chance to sort of be recognizable, and I liked the idea of it. And I like it. I enjoy it.
How about you, Benji?
I think the perks, not I'm famous to a level, to like someone that's like a character on a reality show, but to the perks that we get from it, I think are great. And it's also nice, like, I like the idea. It's an entree into people. It's like you feel like a little bit more connected to everyone. But the actual just being famous for being famous is not a huge turn on to me.
Yeah, I always say that the best part of working on the show is being a B celebrity who works for an A celebrity, or even a D celebrity who works for an A celebrity, because you do get some cool perks. But like Howard, so almost can't utilize the perks that he gets because he's so famous. He can't, it's hard for him to go to the baseball game and sit in the stands.
What did you think of Chelsea's story about waitressing and how important the tip is?
First of all, I learned something today. I had no idea that they have to pay 8% tax on somebody's bill. That's crazy. Did you know that?
No.
I never heard that before.
That.
But I listen, I worked at TGI Fridays, and I worked with waitresses who were like Chelsea, who just went up to guys and said, really, you're not going to fucking tip me? And there were all sorts of discussions of which ethnic groups, and like I know that I got yelled at. I was the host, and I got yelled at for seating a table of women in a waitress's section. And I go, what are you mad at? She goes, don't fucking put women in my section. They don't tip for shit.
Actually, yeah, she made an anti-Semitic comment about that.
Well, she said, you're the kind of Jew that makes a Jew like me, or something like that. Yeah. I guess when you're Jewish, you can make anti-Semitic remarks. But I do get,
She's showing half a comment.
When you work hard and somebody tips you, somebody putting $10 down an $800 bill is just, it's the worst thing you can do.
Do you feel pressure to tip well? I mean, have you always felt that pressure?
Yeah. My pressure is, I like to tip well anyway because I think I make enough money to do it, but my other pressure is if you tip like shit, someone will call the show.
That's right. So you better...
Which is, I think, is exactly what Howard... In fact, I was telling you this before. Howard and I went out to dinner one night, and I got to remember if I got this right, but I think I picked up the bill and I put my credit card down, and Howard insisted on leaving a tip, which I thought was weird, but now that I think about it, I realize Howard probably wasn't sure I was going to leave a big enough tip, or not a Howard Stern caliber tip, and he didn't want to leave it to me. And I understand, because when we leave, nobody says, Gary tipped me like shit. It's Howard Stern tipped me like shit. So, and Howard always leaves ridiculous sized tips.
So do you have a general standard? Like, I know 15 to 20%.
I'm 20 to 25%. I mean, I'm guaranteed 20%, sometimes 25%. But again, I would never tip under 20%.
Rick, you're on the wrap-up show. Hey, Rick.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
So I just that bit that Chelsea was talking about with the tipping.
Yeah, the 8%.
Yeah, they actually can cost the waitress money to wait on somebody. They take out a percentage of their gross sales to divvy out to the bar, the hostesses, the bus, and all that. So they have to pay that no matter what.
Well, wait a second. She said you're saying that they take out money to divvy up to everybody. She's saying she has to pay 8% tax. Is that what?
I think no, it's not really tax. I think she just misexplained it.
Right.
But because on any kind of transaction that's credit card, they can trace it. So anything that isn't cash money, you have to pay on.
I do know that when you work in a restaurant, you have to tip the bar backs and the bus boys and some other people. But I understand that first of all, I don't know who's going to tip 8% or less. You got to think like I think in the worst places you tip 10%, but that's unheard of.
You never know, Gar. You never know. But moving on with Chelsea, what did you think of her explanation of her relationship with 50 Cent?
It sounded like she really liked him. It sounded like she went out with him for a goof and found out that she really dug him.
Yeah, and it sounded like when they broke up, they haven't spoken. I guess they get along well now, but they didn't speak to each other for a while based on what she had said to him. So why does she have the ability to fly? I mean, she's an unbelievably successful author. Her television shows are doing well. How does she get to fly under the radar?
Because what are you going to find out about her that she hasn't told you in any of her books or she doesn't say on her show? I think that's a huge thing for her.
And is it odd? I mean, you did it in the book you wrote. I mean, when you put so much of yourself out there, then people sort of think they know you very well, and all of that is there. And I think her and Howard bonded over that a little bit.
But Howard tells everything on the radio show, yet he still gets followed a lot.
True.
But not Jennifer Aniston, whoever it's Julia Roberts caliber. But yeah, he gets followed a lot. I understand though what she said. It's the best of both worlds for her. She gets all the perks and none of the shit.
We're going to move off of Chelsea Handler and on to your former intern, Gary, Mitch, and Jessica, who look great.
She was really pretty.
Does it make you feel awkward at all when Mitch... was Mitch like this when he interned for you?
Absolutely not. He was in college. He was in his maybe 20 or 21. And he was your typical horny college kid. We talked about, chicks we thought were hot. But I don't remember him being like a sex fiend or like having like, oh, I need to do threesomes. I think he was looking for onesomes at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he seems to hit the mother load with his fiance, but his fiance now wants to bring another guy in bed. And Mitch,
deal breaker.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's a deal breaker for Mitch.
Yeah, I find the whole thing fascinating, and I don't judge. But I don't think, like, as I was listening to them talk about it, I said, like, on the surface, it sounds like a really great idea. Like, oh, my girlfriend's going to let me fuck other girls, or my wife's going to let me fuck other girls. But to me, it sounds both physically and mentally to be an enormous strain. You know what I mean? Like, you have to think about what does it mean? What does it mean? The going out to get them. It just seems like a lot of
scheduling.
A lot of work. It seems like a lot of work. And so I don't know. I don't know Mitch, the comedian swinger. I know Mitch, the intern.
But by the way, she said she would be okay with them having a monogamous traditional relationship. Just if they did that, she doesn't think she would want to bring in other girls if he didn't, eventually let her bring in other guys.
And do you think that's a fair request?
Do I think it's fair? I think anything's fair if you're married and being upfront and like saying, this is, and you're not exploiting the other person. I think it's fair that that's what she wants and that's what he wants.
JD, would you be able to handle another guy in bed?
No. I can barely handle me in bed.
Hold on.
What size bed does JD even have?
but JD, let's go to this one, right?
Yes.
Like who's one of your hot girls? Like a girl that you really love. Is there an answer to this?
No, I mean there's a lot. There's
okay.
There's a lot.
So the girl that was in Katrina, right? You like her.
Katrina Bowden.
So she's on 30 Rock. So she's super hot. So say Katrina Bowden says, "Hey, I want you to come and I want to hook up with you, and my boyfriend's just going to sit in the corner and jerk off."
No, I couldn't. That's too weird. I can't have another guy.
Not going to come near you. Not going to touch you. He's all the way in the corner.
I could have been. If I was into that, I could have did that when I was down at hedonism, because that's all. That in fact, that was probably the only way I would have gotten laid. And since I wasn't into it, I didn't get much of anything. So no, I would not. No other guys. I want no other penises in the room. It's just mine.
But if other girls are around,
that's that's fine with me.
Double standard.
Listen, I'm sorry. I'm just being me.
But the more the merrier, right?
I don't know. Well, no, I don't know about that.
But just Gary's
the more it might be sadder.
Gary's scenario, like, so you said the Katrina Bowden is her name, like, is one of your hottest chicks, like. So you couldn't have the guy in there jerking off. What if she told you like he was just watching but not jerking off?
No. I don't want to be watched. I don't want to be analyzed whatsoever.
What if he knew about it and was like, I'm going to let you guys in the room alone. I'll leave and I'll come back. Or call me when you're done. I'll come back.
I don't know.
All right, Katrina, you have a little shot here.
Hey, by the way, Benji, because you've been into some interesting stuff. Have you ever been with a chick where a dude's been in the room just watching?
Yes, but like I've been in it. Like that's never would be my first choice.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
I don't think it's anybody's.
well, no, I think it is some people's, but opportunistically, when that's the only way it was going to happen,
Right.
yeah, yeah, it's happened.
And are you?
It's not.
If Elisa wanted to bring another guy in,
no,
would you
no
be
way,
okay with
no,
that?
absolutely no way. No.
But see, for me, the guy in the corner only freaks me out because, like, I'd have one eye open because I think I keep waiting for him to, like, I'll just shove a finger up your ass, because you have your attention somewhere else and he catch you off guard.
Waiting for him to slowly creep in.
Yeah.
So on Tuesday's wrap-up show, I went in to talk about the whole Ronnie fiasco. Apparently, he didn't enjoy me calling him borderline stupid. But and then after that, I talked about his whole yelling at his appearances and what a nightmare that is. I've seen that at a party, so here it is.
Howard says he wishes he wasn't associated with one of the two Ronnie Munds that he's gotten to know, and we should get into that a little bit when Ronnie comes in here about how he really is two different people, Gary.
I agree.
There's the
I
character and the...
because you and I talked about this when we were in Vegas, about, like, we love Ronnie and how Ronnie has a big heart, what a great guy he is, but I don't know that guy's coming across on the air a lot lately.
Well, that guy wasn't doing that contest in Vegas. You could see that. I mean,
I started to write Howard a note last night. I canceled it at the last second, but after I watched Ronnie, I wrote him a note that said, I thank God, I thank you and God every day that I don't have to do these appearances anymore, because when you go out in front of a crowd, there's you feel compelled to do something.
Right.
And when you don't have an actor, you don't do anything. Ronnie and I are famous for being famous. I'm famous for I can't book a guest in front of a crowd. And so I never felt comfortable doing it.
Well, Ronnie also took issue with Scott DePace. He was insulted that Scott called him stupid, and he kind of went off on you, Scott, really out of left field. I didn't see that coming. Did you?
Your mistake, Scott, was that you gave your opinion on how smart you think everybody is, and somebody asked you, but once you put that out there, everyone's going to come back.
The fact is, everyone here has called me stupid from one time or the other, and Ronnie, everyone, Howard, I mean, all those guys. So yeah, I guess I'm not Howard. All of those guys have pretty much said that he's stupid. They pretty much made fun of his poem. And somehow I'm the bad guy. So, okay.
But you know what I think the difference is? Like, I'll say sometimes, Scott, you're being stupid, or I think your politics are stupid, but I don't think you are stupid. You sort of made the blanket statement pursuant to nothing.
Look, it's an
I think
interview.
Ronnie is in general stupid.
All right, ask me the question again. Rank people around.
Do you think
here.
Ronnie's a bright guy?
Yes, everyone here is very bright.
But you're not being real.
Well, I mean, how else am I supposed to answer?
Tell the truth. Tell what you feel.
I think I did.
You pride yourself on answering questions honestly and bluntly.
Yeah.
And now you're saying that you think Ronnie is a bright guy? Because in that interview, it didn't sound like you thought Ronnie was a very bright guy.
I don't think John understands sarcasm.
You are a point above him in IQ.
Yeah, clearly, I'm missing it. That's the one point.
Maybe you're the dummy. Look, do I think he's borderline stupid? Like I said, no. That's a little.
Is there anyone here you think is?
No. I don't even know if Bobo was. I don't think I've ever met someone borderline stupid besides a retarded guy.
So what's borderline stupid?
Yeah,
because it's not retarded.
Define borderline stupid.
Just someone who you can't even have a conversation with, who has no sense of reason or I don't know.
But that's retarded, what you're talking about. There are stupid people who aren't retarded.
Well, show me one of them. Who do you think is here?
I think that Sal, in some areas, can be bright, and in some areas, I think Sal lacks common sense.
So that's your way of sugarcoating.
No,
I think in some ways
I don't think Sal's
stupid.
I think Sal lacks book smarts, and I think he lacks common sense. On the other hand, I think sometimes he's sort of a little street smart. He's sharp in some other areas, so I don't completely discount him. But sometimes he doesn't think things through.
He's brilliant at making some of those calls.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I said that I think Sal is reasonably intelligent. But so maybe I should say Ronnie doesn't show or sound very intelligent, but he can drive very well.
Okay.
I mean, like I don't know. I made a comment and he got angry and.
Do you see why Ronnie would find that comment insulting?
I would say that you'd be stupid for being surprised that he's mad that you called him stupid.
No, I mean my point is that everyone here has called me stupid, and Howard has basically said that he's not. Stupid is a strong word, and maybe that's the problem. I shouldn't be saying stupid because I don't think he's stupid. But if we had to take an SAT test, let's say we all had to go in and my money's not going on him. That's it.
So he's not strong academically in your eyes.
What do you think?
I'm just stating what you said.
I'm not sure how I feel right now. What do you think?
You're not sure how you feel because you're backpedaling on what you said before.
Well, that's really what I meant. I just mean that Ronnie's a great guy. And like he said, he's successful in business.
So did you feel bad saying that about Ronnie? Because it heated up pretty quickly between you two.
Well, I felt bad that he got so upset. I mean, I thought his skin was a little thicker. That I always think I'm always surprised when anyone here gets upset because of all the.
But you get upset.
That goes on. I do when it's 5-on-1 sort of thing. That's
no, you get if somebody takes a shot at you, it upsets you sometimes.
Not really, go ahead.
I'm not looking to fight with you. But who do you think here? Have you ever met anybody like that's borderline stupid? Like some of the whack packers? No, because I think it's a funny phrase. Like where would you put Miss Howard Stern?
I've never really. I don't speak to a lot of the guests, so I don't really. But my interaction from what they. Yeah, I think Miss Howard Stern is probably borderline stupid. I think is Beetlejuice officially retarded? Because if not, he's definitely stupid.
You really have to ask that question?
Well, I don't know. What is there a clinical term? And how do you? I don't
know what the clinical term is. But if you ask somebody to spell red 3 times and they spell 3 different ways, I'm going to go with whatever that phrase
is. Then he's flat out retarded.
Steve in Pennsylvania, you're on the wrap-up show.
High pitch Eric seems very stupid.
Hello.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve Carnathan, I'm a big fan. Hey, listen, Pace, you're just a backpedaling asshole, first of all.
Shut up.
And
you're
second of all, Ronnie runs his business, and he runs it better than obviously you did.
I don't run Ronnie's business.
No, Ronnie runs his own. He's a hell of a lot more successful than you are. You're just a typical politician, backpedaling asshole.
I'm not a politician. What?
Now, Scott, did you think it was fair for Howard to be upset at Ronnie and the way he behaved out in Vegas? Do you think Ronnie's representing the show?
I mean, listen, Ronnie's his own guy. If he's going to say that this is Ronnie from the Howard Stern show, I could see Howard's point.
But, I mean, it's a Howard TV event. He's saying Howard TV up there.
I don't know. I'd be curious to talk to some of the people. Do they think are they getting some part of the Howard Stern show? Or they think it's going to be a big comedy show? Or if they go expecting to hear some guy just yell at them the whole time, well, then they deserve it.
Gary, what do you think? Should Howard be upset by this? He said he doesn't want to associate himself with that kind of guy.
The thing is, I think that Ronnie's sort of getting mixed signals because Ronnie hasn't really changed too much. He's always sort of been like that. I think that Howard's perception of how he'd like to be received by the audience might be changing a little, which he's totally entitled to, by the way. And so maybe one day he wasn't paying attention. One day he woke up and somebody sent him the tape. It's like, oh my God, that's who's out there representing me. I'm not sure that I'm crazy about that anymore.
So you think Howard has changed, not Ronnie?
Yeah, to some degree, and I think that's perfectly fine for somebody to change.
Just so everyone knows, that is the guy that shows up at all the parties that we have.
But if you go to dinner with Ronnie, or if you just hang out with Ronnie, that's not the guy you hang out with.
No, because normally that's before that guy comes out. When he gets a little drunk, then suddenly forget about it.
All right, Ted, let's take a break. We'll try and get Ronnie down here to refute some of what Scott said, calling him borderline stupid. Ronnie just joined us, and Ronnie, we were talking to Scott about him calling you borderline stupid. And he's backed off of that a little bit, but you went after him pretty hard for that.
What do you mean by backed off a little bit? What does that mean?
Well, he was trying to. Well, Scott, you should speak for yourself. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I already did it once. I can't. I don't know.
I think he said that he doesn't think you're book smart, but you drive well.
No, that was a joke. I think that, to say you're borderline stupid is certainly an exaggeration. All I was saying is if we were going to
Why would you say it at all, then?
They asked me the question. Who is rank everyone around here. And I had just got done hearing you do your poem, and I didn't think it sounded very good.
You just got done hearing me do my poem.
You had just said you had
I did my poem at the Christmas party. That was December 15th.
Yeah, the first one. The first poem about the winter.
Okay. You had just heard that?
You just said it on the air. And that
what? You're getting caught up. What we played was taped about a month ago with DePace as well. So he's saying when he was interviewed, he heard you it was a day or two after he heard you do your poem.
Oh, okay.
But Scott said, if you took the SAT, he doesn't think you do very well.
As well as most
can I ask you a question? What at this point in my life, does that matter now?
Yeah, I know. I agree with you.
Same thing with an IQ test. What is that going to do for me?
I agree with you. 100%.
And what did it do for you, except to find out that Will is smarter than you?
That's debatable.
He passed it. He got a higher score, didn't he?
Still don't know how he did it.
I don't know, man.
Really?
I know it bothered
Like,
him.
you can't get over the fact that he may be
No,
smarter
it
than you?
bothered him badly,
Well,
man.
there was that whole news story.
Which turned out not to be true.
Well, I don't know.
Do you think Will cheated and that's why he got more than you?
Look, I know he called me the day before he took it in a panic.
We all did. We were all.
No,
I called Howard in a panic the day. We all were in a panic, except for you.
And he called me in a panic, wanting to know everything about the test. And then he did a lot of research on it. I don't know. Look, he's a smart guy. I never said he wasn't. I just the 131.
You can't just say he scored better than you on the IQ test.
I told you it bothers him to no
Wow.
end.
And that's your friend.
Maybe. All right. He probably did get the one.
I don't know.
Is there anybody? Is there anyone here you feel is smarter than you?
I think everyone's smart.
Answer my question. Is there anyone here that you feel is
there
smarter
anyone
than you?
here whose intelligence intimidates me? No.
Is there anyone here who you feel is smarter than you are?
I don't know. How do I know that?
Is
anyone here a scientist? No.
It's a gut guess.
Gut guess? I'm sure there is.
But who would it be then?
It could be.
It's not Robin. It's not Fred.
Could be
Obviously.
Will.
Could be Will.
It could be Howard.
Mm-hmm.
It could be John.
But wait a second. So if you're doing the IQ test, throwing all the jokes out the window, John and I scored 1 point below you. It's a veritable.
John was a couple more than
No, John and I are the same.
Oh,
1 point.
They were exactly.
It's a veritable tie. You don't think that we're all around the same intelligence, or do you think that 1 point really makes you so much smarter than John and I?
It was a really hard point.
No, I'm being serious.
I mean, you're the same as I am. It's obvious that the test. I mean, I don't know any other barometer than the IQ test. So what am I to say? You're right in the same family as I am.
No, but that's because it sounded like you were going a different way. But we were saying, who do you think here could be?
You said, "What's my gut on who could be smarter than I?" I don't think you're smarter than I am. That's my gut.
That's okay. I'm just wondering if there's anybody else that could be.
I don't know. I'd have to go through the whole list and in
like, do you think you're the smartest guy in the TV room, as a for instance?
Yes. No. Maybe.
Who was the no?
Goodstein, Ganji, Phelan.
You think Ganji might be smarter than you?
No. I'm smart.
Those are the yeses.
So, Ronnie, you agree? Scott doesn't think anybody here is smarter than he is.
Yeah, I agree.
I just said you could be, John.
And that.
Well, you said it, but you didn't mean it.
Well, wait a second. John and I have the same IQ, so why could he be smarter than you, but I couldn't?
Well, I think yours is swayed in the memory category, which I don't value.
You don't know what
you have the Fred problem, Gary.
But you don't know what John scored high.
I don't know, Gary. I don't know. You're asking me these questions. I don't know. There's no way to judge.
Yet
Let's cut our brains open.
There's no way to judge, yet somehow you managed to.
Well, of course. I mean, you're asking me for a gut feeling. I'm not willing to say my gut says that you're smarter than I am.
Well, what would make you say I was stupid?
What do you think made Howard, Robin, and Fred at times call you stupid?
I never heard him call me stupid.
Hey, well, stupid's a strong word. I've said that. All right, so let's back away from stupid. Let's say not as intelligent as they are.
Yeah, because of grammar and stuff, and the shit I do with my appearances. That's drinking, okay? The shit I do with my appearances is having a good time.
Ronnie, why?
And if you've never been to one of my appearances either, everybody is having a good time, believe it or not.
I don't think anybody questions the fact that people are having a good time. If you watch the video, everyone's having a great time. But Howard seemed to say that this Ronnie Mund, he doesn't want to be any part of. He sort of wants to disassociate himself from you because you're representing the show in a way I guess he's not a fan of.
Okay.
Do you understand where he's coming from?
I understand. I understand where he's coming from, but if you're not there to see the actual appearance and what's going on and how drunk everybody is there, I'm not even talking about me. I'm talking about the people that are there. You're in a club with 2,000 people there in this club, and they're all one is drunker than the other. It's just everybody's having a good time. That's all it is.
Yeah, I don't see too many people coming to a strip club and going, this is disturbing.
Nobody was insulted. I could tell you that.
Do you feel
I didn't insult anybody, I promise you.
Well, do you feel when you do these appearances, you're sort of giving the people what they want, like what they come for?
I think so, because it's a wild party is what it was. This wasn't a strip club. It was it was Lavo. It's a club.
It's a club.
One of the biggest clubs in Vegas.
Yeah.
Gary, when we have parties and Ronnie starts in with his yelling, what do you think of that?
I'm amused.
You're amused.
Yeah, I don't go, oh, there's dumbass Ronnie. I think I'm amused. I think it's funny. I've known him for a long time.
Sometimes it goes on a little long.
I haven't been to a lot of those. Like the last time I really witnessed Ronnie genuinely out of control for any length of time, it was like 6 or 7 years ago. It was that Valentine's Day party. Where that was like really bad.
See, and that's fun. But then
that was
when
like, he was drunk at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 2 o'clock.
When everyone else starts jumping in, like Phelan starts yelling, and it becomes just a shout fest for no reason. I just want to stick a fork in my.
No, I get that.
But Howard feels that Ronnie's reflecting poorly on him. Like Ronnie is a reflection of his persona and who Howard is.
I guess it depends on how he's billed. If he's billed Ronnie from Howard Stern show, then maybe that could. But
actually, this time I was billed as Ronnie from Howard TV.
Right.
Yeah, you think Howard TV bears some of the responsibility here, Ronnie?
Well, I don't. What, for me yelling?
Like, are they encouraging you to do more of that, or are you doing that on your own?
No, I think listen, Howard TV loves it, okay, for the mere fact that they get content out of it.
Mm-hmm.
They get a TV show, behind-the-scenes show, whatever.
Is that in your head when you're up there?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's just I'm having fun. Everybody was having fun.
And I have to
and the girls were having a blast on stage dancing. They were most of them were high as a kite. They not drunk, not I don't know if high as a kite, but they were having a great time dancing. They wanted to win. The girl who won was thrilled.
And I take it back. Ronnie, I hate to keep bringing up bad times. It wasn't
They're not bad times to me.
It wasn't the Valentine's Day thing. It was Bubba's wedding.
Well, yeah,
that
was a bad time to me.
That was really the last time.
That I remember when the night ended, and I went back to my hotel room, and I sat there by myself, and I said, I am definitely fucked here.
What are your two egos again?
I knew it.
What is it? It's Ron and
Ronald.
Oh, Ronald. So you should try doing one of these events as the nice guy. What's that guy, Ron?
Yeah, nobody wants to come and see that.
Me then.
Let's have some respect for the women.
They're not paying to see Ronald. They're
and I didn't call
Ronnie.
the girl a shit ass. I'm telling. It was chit. I didn't say shits. I said chicks.
John in Long Island, you're on the wrap-up show. How you doing, John?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
I just kind of want to defend Scott here a little bit, which is kind of strange for me because I seem to never agree with him.
Okay. Thank you.
But Scott, I think he's kind of right. I know these are co-workers of yours, and it's very hard to call somebody that you work with stupid. But all the fans even know it's funny for the show to hear, like Ronnie's poetry and that whole thing where they were going to give Ronnie another show, and they called it More Ronnie, and he didn't even get the joke for a week. He is kind of.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's kind of.
No, I got the joke. I said it right away. Moron. I said.
It took a while to get it. Somebody had to explain it to you, and you came in and confronted Howard a day or two later and said, "You guys are making fun of me behind my back." But I mean, it's funny, but I think he put the wrong one lowest. I think Sal is definitely the lowest. He can't even pick out the U.S. on a map.
He's just not educated. There's a difference.
Yeah, well, that is kind of. I mean, you go through. If you graduate high school and you don't pick up some of the material, that is kind of stupid, don't you think?
Stupid of the school to give a diploma.
And Sal gets very insulted if anybody calls him stupid.
That's his Achilles heel. If you say Sal's stupid, it's very upsetting to him. But he's right. And Sal's move is, what do I need to know where Florida is? What am I going to use it in my daily life?
Right.
I get on a plane, they take me there. What the fuck do I have to pick it on a map?
Right. Thanks for calling in, John. So are you two okay now?
I apologize to Ronnie.
Yeah, which I know took a lot for Scott to apologize to somebody.
Did you think it was a sincere apology?
Yeah, I do. I really do. Yeah, I thought it was very sincere because I heard from little flies on the wall that he was upset about the whole thing after it went down.
Really?
Oh, then you're full of shit. Then your fucking apology doesn't mean nothing. Then
no. Wait, whoa. I mean, I wasn't pouting in the room.
No, I didn't say you were pouting. Did I say you were pouting?
I was upset that you were upset.
Bothered you. I said it bothered you.
I didn't like.
Yeah, okay.
You and I were always good. I don't want to.
I've never had a bad word with you, but you know what? Last night, the funny thing was when he said it yesterday, and John Lieberman, I think, came to me and asked me about it, and I just, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't even know that he did an interview about he was doing a story like this. But I went, now, I never hear the news stories, but now you can go on Twitter and listen to them. So I just went and listened to it in the afternoon. I heard it on Twitter on my phone, and it's like, what the fuck, man? What is with this guy? It bothered me all night. And I was just hoping it would come, because I had to explode today on this.
I had to.
I could tell.
Now, if
you unleashed.
If you didn't go in for because Howard brought you in for the Vegas stuff, would you have gone up to Scott and told him that, you know what, it kind of pissed you off what he had to say?
I would have waited because I knew sooner or later it would have probably came up on the air because I know Lieberman was going to headline it, and it would have came up then, and then I would have went in. But no, I don't think I would have confronted. Howard likes, like he said this morning,
the air.
He loves fights. He loves it. He thrives on it. And
Hey, Ronnie, if you were asked if you had to pick a stupid person on the staff, who would you?
Benji, I wouldn't call anybody stupid. I've never called. I wouldn't do it.
Okay, that's
even
if
you had to. Even if I thought you were the dumbest fucking person in the world, I don't do that, and I don't tell people I hate them either.
Hi, I'm Scott the Engineer, and on Wednesday's wrap-up show, the subject came up of me screwing something up. I deleted some important material Howard was trying to play. I went in, I admitted it, and eventually he got mad but apologized, so check it out.
I think we should start with something that happened at the end of the show, which was Scott Salem deleting Howard's page. And the way Howard handled it, because you heard the anger, he yelled at Scott, he was all pissed off, and then a caller called in, and 10 minutes later he's apologizing for the way he treated Scott. But that's just a screw-up, Gary, that I was surprised. I thought it was going to go on for longer, and I wonder if Scott's heard the last of it.
It would have gone on for longer 15 years ago. I felt for Scott, and I felt for Howard. First of all, I need to explain to folks that all the pages that we have, the Gary page 1, JD page 2, all that stuff, as the show goes on, we play Howard all these bits, and Howard takes the best of these bits and he pulls them over to, it's called the cart rack, but I call it the on-deck circle. And Howard moves things around. He's like, okay, I'm going to play this and this and this, and this is the order. And so to go back and recreate that is near impossible because I gave him so much stuff this morning, I'm not positive I remember what was on his pages, and I don't always see what he pulls over. So Howard's like, and it's not just for today. If we didn't get to it today, it's waiting for him on Monday, and he constantly recreates that page. So I felt for him that went away. Hey, there goes Tom Green. What's up, man? I felt really bad for him that went away, but I felt really bad for Scott too because it's an honest mistake.
Yeah, and Scott said that. He said, I hit the wrong button. I made a mistake. But for it to happen at that point in the show, the way Howard was feeling, it's just not good.
It would have been worse if it happened at the beginning of the show because we would have lost. Howard at least got to play a bunch of the stuff that was on there.
Right.
But it's not good for anybody involved. But when I sit in there, I think of the days when I was under fire like that where I know I fucked up. And there's nothing you can say or do. You fucked up and you just have to sit there and take it, and you just don't know when it's going to end.
But aren't you better off just copping to it as Scott did, not pretending there was some weird thing that happened or a glitch or it just...
Absolutely, but sometimes that's worse because you're copping to it and you're like, I know, man, I fucked up, I'm so sorry, and he just doesn't care. What else can you do? You just have, it's like you're getting the shit kicked out of you, and you put your hands over your face and keep taking the punches until it stops.
And Scott took it, but the bowling thing came up again. And when Howard starts hitting you with that, you wonder, what subtext is going on.
And again, I used to take that all the time. It could be like I would fuck something up, and Howard would bring up an appearance I did a month ago. Oh, well, maybe you weren't at the car show a month ago. Maybe you'd get this shit right. And I was like, and so he grabs whatever weapons he can.
Yeah, and then you're thinking, is it on his mind still? And then it starts playing games in your head.
Well, Jason and I had this interesting conversation. I guess the reason why I'm so sensitive to the whole Scott thing is because I said to Jason, I remember those days. And Jason said, I said it would really hurt. And he said, well, but after when you went to break, Howard said I was just kidding around. I go, never. And Jason goes, God, as a listener, I just always assumed that you and Howard had this thing. And I go, no, we just sort of moved on. It was sort of unspoken, except sometimes I didn't know whether he was still mad or not.
Did you ever get an apology like that, like Scott got today? That quickly?
Yeah, but all more recently. I think so, but I'd say 90% of the time I didn't. 95% of the time I didn't.
And I wonder with Scott and the dates, I know he's doing the block party and the bowling and stuff like that. Does he think twice about doing it, or is Scott just so beaten down he takes it and he moves on because he knows eventually it's going to pass?
The second.
Yeah, I think so too. Were you impressed by how Scott handled himself in there, Benji?
That the more feeling was I felt horrible for him because it's like, it's just like I thank God I'm not in a position like that. Something like that could happen. It sounds like it was like just a total mistake, and I understand what Howard's point of view. Right. It's like when you write a term paper and someone erases it.
That's right. That's exactly what it's like. You know? It's really all the funny stuff for the day. And in his mind, he said, if I take this, it's like a puzzle. I'll take this and this and this and put it all together. It's going to work.
Yeah, and poof, it's gone.
Right.
So you understand where the anger is coming from. And Scott, that's one of the situations where you made an honest mistake. There's nothing you can do. Are you surprised he turned around and apologized to you so quickly?
Yeah, a little surprised. He probably wouldn't have done it if the caller didn't push him into it. But I was a little surprised. I didn't need that. I mean, I would be just equally as pissed off as he was. It's something that I did that shouldn't happen.
So after you hit the button and you realize what happens, what's going through your mind?
Oh, fuck. Shit. I'm like, God damn it. So I said, I can't just not tell anybody and let it go, and hopefully things won't show up.
Scott came to me. I was supposed to tell Howard during the break, and we had like this 45-second break where I was talking to him about a contest, and I just didn't get to it.
He found it without you telling him?
That's right.
Oh, that's even worse. But I did go to Gary right after it happened. I said, listen, I deleted a page by accident. I just want you to know. I didn't just leave.
Oh, no. Yeah, he fessed up to it, but there's nothing you can do.
That was the only thing I could have done. I mean, so, yeah, I felt really bad. It's not something that, I do.
What about the bowling comments and the block party comments and the other things that Howard said when he was sort of getting on?
You know, when you get mad and you're in an argument with somebody, you just bring up shit and you throw it around, and, whatever.
Like, when you're talking to your wife and you call her a cunt whore? Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
No, but that's almost what it's like. It's like all bets are off.
Yeah. So
I would hate to fight with Howard in real life.
The bowling and the block party have nothing to do with what I do here. So, I mean, they're associated, but in terms of doing my job here, no, I didn't fuck up because I do those other things.
This guy, Matt, is fascinating. His name is Matt Paxton. And, Matt, are you on TV?
I'm here.
Yeah. Matt's on TV, right? Aren't you part of the Hoarders TV show?
Yeah, I'm the guy that cleans up all the dead cats and poop on Hoarders.
Oh.
Hoarders is this fascinating show, which I have to admit I don't watch. I sort of, everyone always tells me about it, but I am fascinated by Hoarders, like Ronnie, the limo driver, tells me about when his mom was a bit of a hoarder, and she would hoard these paper bags,
Paper bags,
like from shopping. Like she'd come home and save every paper bag. And when Ronnie cleaned out her house after she died, it was like he spent almost a month
with paper bags,
plastic bags. And Gary said his mom was a hoarder. She would just save New York Times newspapers, and she'd and finally he was hauling them out one day, and there was thousands of them. And she started to cry, and he goes, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "I was going to read those." It's such a thing, this hoarding. Yes. And she would save your mom would save every box, right?
Ronnie and I were just talking about this in there. So say you go to Macy's and you buy a shirt, right? You give it as a gift, that box. My mother, and Ronnie said the same thing with his mother, there were boxes inside of boxes inside of boxes, and both our mothers had the same thing. Oh, when Christmas comes around, I'm going to use them, but they never did.
Right.
Then the next year, there were more boxes, and after 10 years, there were so many boxes.
Right.
You open my mother's closet, and one half, instead of clothing, were these boxes stacked up to the ceiling.
Right.
Wow.
Well, I remember when Ronnie's mom died, he would, I said, "Ronnie, how's it going?" Because he said, I have to go and, clean up my mom's house. Well, it was months you were cleaning that house. And finally he said to me, she saved everything.
It was 40-gallon bags of garbage.
40 of them.
40.
Right.
And
a small apartment.
Yeah, a two-bedroom apartment, garden apartment.
Right.
Okay? And you know the junk trucks that come? You hire them to come? 3 trucks.
Wow. From a 2-bedroom apartment.
Besides, it was mostly shopping, paper bags.
It was paper bags, canned goods that were
expired.
They were exploding in the back. Like she would buy stuff and keep putting it in the closet, and the stuff would just pile up.
Right.
And when you get to the back, I was cleaning everything out, the cans that were in the back were exploding. That's how old they were.
You know, I just got one more. My friend had to take care of his dad's house. Again, I don't know what it is about storing stuff. You know, do they like the storage containers?
It's a depression mentality.
400 Maxwell House coffee cans. Right, you know the Maxwell House coffee cans?
The empty ones.
400, and they were filled with. Some were filled with rubber bands.
Right.
Some were filled with nuts and bolts. Some were filled with nothing.
Right.
But 400 of them, and they were like sort of stacked in sort of a neat way. But he couldn't possibly find it because they were all the same can.
How old a guy was this?
He was, Depression era guy for sure.
Because I think they see a coffee can as like, wow, this could be valuable. I can put things in it.
Cigar boxes they used to keep because that was a good place to put things.
My mother would take a paper towel, right, and she would wipe my counter at the house, and then she would lay it out on the side to dry. And I said, Ma, I promise you, the depression's over. We can afford paper towels.
Right.
I found stuff. Okay, under the sink in the kitchen, there was like a big storage area.
Right.
You know the things like from the Chinese restaurant, the containers from soup.
Right. I think the plastic container.
The styrofoam things that, takeout food comes in.
Yeah.
She would wash it out.
Oh.
And save them.
The whole bottom, hundreds of them, hundreds. Okay. Then I'd have to go through every piece of paperwork in the house. And she had a closet filled with paperwork from my father had a business in 1959. All the paperwork was still there from the business. You would have to go through everything. I'd find money.
Wow.
Dollar bills, envelopes with $100 in it. I'd go through her drawers. I'd find these little change purses filled with change. You
know what was crazy about his story? His mom got sick, so he cleaned out the entire apartment. From the time she got sick to the time she died, the whole apartment was filled up again.
All over again.
All over again.
Because I cleaned it out once when she had a heart surgery. She had heart surgery when she was 75.
So like
77, something like that.
So you went in and cleaned it out.
I went when she was in the house. She was living at my house to recuperate.
How long did it take? Was she mad at you when you cleaned up the first time?
She got pissed off at me when she went home. And a lot of the paperwork stuff was missing. I just took everything and hauled it out.
And didn't she enjoy having free space and neat? No, nothing. She was angry.
And then
it's hell for them.
My old bedroom that where I lived when I lived there was filled with like the boxes like he was talking about.
Yeah.
Where what are you going to use all these boxes for? Like she'd give us gifts at Christmas time. And she'd take the boxes home.
That's right. My mother said you got to give me the box back.
Right.
That's a true story.
She put them back in the room.
Right.
And they were all there. And then she would go shopping.
Right.
And she'd buy shirts for me from,
Macy's.
Macy's. She'd buy stuff for the kids. She'd buy everything, and never opened it. Like, in case she needed it for something.
She'd have a gift.
She had a gift.
That's true. My mother had a part of the house. This is weird because it would always freak my friends out. Like, I'd come over with, say you were my friend.
Right.
I'd come over. My mom started to talk to you, and she liked you. She'd go, excuse me for a minute. She'd go lock her door. I could hear her lock the door, and I'd hear her rummaging through stuff.
Right.
And she'd come out with a gift, an unopened gift. Like
Why did she lock the door?
Because that's the funniest thing, too, because we lived in a house the size of my thumb.
Right.
I knew where everything was. My mother used to hide money in the radiator, like you could pull the thing down, and I would hear her open and close it. And I said, Mom, don't lock the door. I know where you're hiding everything. But she would bring you out a gift. Could be a shirt that was still, but the shirt could have been 20 years old, but still in the wrapper.
So Matt, let me get to you. This is Matt Paxton. He's on Hoarders, and as bad as these guys' mothers are,
they got worse people on this show.
But Matt, Matt is one of these guys who figured out. All right, no one wants to clean up a hoarder's home because it's disgusting. So Matt started his business. You originally worked on your own, right? You weren't on TV. You started
I've been doing I've been cleaning up old ladies. All these stories you just told, that's what I do. I work with families to go in and clean it out. And the guy that was talking about finding the money, man, every single book, every single cookie holder. I mean, we found $13,000 in change in a lady's house.
Wow.
How are you? So how did you start this business? You started a business where you said, look, I see that nobody wants to clean up hoarders' homes because it's really gross.
Well, I wish it was that cool. I was broke. I'd been a bit of a bender, about a 3-year bender, and was starting over and was living on a buddy's couch. And I was just trying to eat and pay rent.
Right.
And I realized no one would clean this stuff up. So I said, well, if no one will do it, I'll see if someone will pay me to do it.
So you get paid a fortune to go in and literally just, put on rubber gloves and clean through hoarders' homes.
Yeah, but now it's, dead cats, recycled adult diapers. I mean, it's not. We're not sorting through papers to find change anymore.
And it's probably, how many people work for you in this company?
Sometimes we're 6 guys. We've been as many as 50, depending on the job.
And a lot of times you hire like ex-cons and stuff because most people will not get involved in this kind of dirty work.
Yeah, but you got to have someone that's been knocked down that gets the mental state. And so for me, I prefer ex-cons and recovering addicts.
So if I send you to a home of a hoarder, what would you charge me? I mean, an average size, middle-income home. What does it cost to go in there and clean?
Starts about at $15,000 now.
Right.
15,000?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's why. Listen to this statistic. Matt once had to dispose of 45,000 pounds of human feces from a home. 45. Listen to me. 45,000 pounds.
Where do they keep that?
Yeah, how does that happen, Matt?
Usually that starts in the bathroom. The toilet gets full, then the bathtub gets full, then the hallway gets full, then the living room gets full, and they get embarrassed, and it becomes kind of I better cover this up. But the intent, which you guys said earlier, they absolutely believe they're going to clean it up tomorrow.
Right.
They truly believe that.
So the guys,
you're telling me the plumbing is off?
Plumbing's been gone for years by the time I get there.
Wow.
And I guess they never feel that they want to call in a plumber because at first they start to they're like embarrassed, and then they shit once you start shitting in the tub, you're like, well, I don't want to bring anybody in.
Yeah, I always say, think about the first time you decided to crap in your living room. That's one thing. But by the 500th time, you're pretty committed to this lifestyle.
Can you remember has this happened to you more than once where there's thousands of pounds of feces in the house?
Every week now, man.
Every week?
5 years of my life, every week. I'm in full biohazard now.
And so you go in a hazmat suit and the whole thing?
Oh, yeah. Literally, you would not believe in every single building in New York City, in every single neighborhood around the country, there's one of these houses, and it's a toxic dump. I mean, it's unbelievable the stuff we're finding in there.
And when you meet these people, like specifically the people who shit in have 45,000 pounds of feces in their home, do they seem like normal people?
No, they're like Gary's mom. They're lovely women. They're nice people.
Right.
That have had a rough go at some point in their life. It might be 10, 15 years ago. Something triggered it. And I've got to not only clean up the poop, but I've got to also give this lady a hug and act like it's no big deal.
Right, because you don't want to embarrass her.
No, my God, if I embarrass her, I'm out. She'll kick me out, and I'm the last person that's going to help her.
When they call you, do they confess, or they just say, look, I saw you on TV. I need a company to come in and clean my home. Or do they come clean on the phone and say, listen, I've been shitting in my house for the last 10 years?
No. Normally, either a family member will call me, or they'll get called in from the show, or an APS worker, Adult Protective Services, will say, we're kicking them out tomorrow.
Right.
So they're not calling you. It's always someone else.
Maybe 1 out of 100 they'll call. Usually it's someone that loves them.
And is there...
They've given up. They don't know what to do.
And is it like what Ronnie and Gary are describing, that when you come in to clean, they're livid because even though you're removing shit from their home, they're not grateful in a way. They're like, please, just leave the shit in there.
Yeah, I mean, it becomes a wall of safety. They're removed from the rest of the world, and it's really a wall of judgment. They don't want to be judged. They don't want to be made fun of. So, believe it or not, that stuff protects them.
What is the smell like? Or maybe you never get to smell it because you're in a...
do something?
Yeah, I'm pretty used to it. It's a very citrusy urine smell.
Oh, it's not. It doesn't even smell like shit anymore.
No, urine will knock out. You don't even smell shit.
Really? Where are they urinating?
With the shit?
2-liter bottles.
In 2-liter bottles.
Oh, and then they cap it, the bottle?
They cap it, yeah. They call them plumber bombs.
Oh, my God. I mean,
we enjoy it, though. For us, we're all recovering addicts, so, we need something nasty to get us off.
Yeah, this keeps you straight, huh?
It keeps us totally clean and sober because we get grossed out and we really enjoy that, and we get that every week.
I would think it would be the opposite. Like, you'd come home and go, I've just seen the worst of humanity.
Shoot me up.
I need to get high. It doesn't matter. It's all meaningless.
Tie me off.
I mean, when you've hit rock bottom yourself, you kind of have to laugh to get out of it. And so now for us, if we find, if we don't see 200 cats, we don't think it's funny.
Are you a millionaire from this business? I mean, getting $20,000 a house seems to me like you might be a very wealthy man.
No, I mean, I'm doing all right. I have a house now. I have children that I can afford. I'm comfortable. It's a pretty cool thing. But I get paid to help people, which is a pretty awesome thing.
Matt once found 200 dead cats in a home, and they were wet. So when he tried to pick them up, they just came apart.
That was a rough one.
Do you ever throw up when you see that kind of thing?
I don't, man. The only thing that gets me is I had a kitten crawl out of a pile of waste, human waste, one time. And that was a bit much for me. And then the smells, the textures, really, like the food they were talking about. When those cans explode, he's exactly right. The cans from 20, 30 years ago will pop open, and you'll see textures and smells that you've never seen
What
before.
do you mean a kitten crawled out of human feces? In other words, the cat was trapped in the feces?
He was living underneath the feces and she crawled through it.
Oh, my God. So how did the cat survive? Did they feed the cat or did they eat shit?
Dude, people don't realize cats are survivalists, man. They are so tough. Like, they'll live through anything. People will quit before a cat quits.
Wow. Oh, it's so sad. Now, when you say, going back to what you said before, you found $13,000 in cash inside a giant rat's nest in a house.
Yeah, 8-foot rat's nest in Oakland.
And how's the money get in there?
Well, we found out that week that rats don't eat money. We didn't. It's the only thing they don't shred apart. We didn't know that.
Why is that?
I guess it's the glaze on the money. I don't know. They're not interested in it. But we didn't know if there were cats. We didn't know if there were rats or not in this nest. So it was about a 6-foot-high, 8-foot-wide rat's nest, and we can see all the holes where the rats are going in and out. But we can also see money all over the place.
Now, when you see that's a dangerous thing because those rats can carry disease.
Yeah, in Oakland too. They're big. I mean, that's like New York rats.
Yeah, they're the size of dogs. Some of them.
Yeah, they're a good sized cat. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you're cleaning out, do they come and bite you and try to attack you?
Well, that one they didn't in that one. But we were going inch by inch. We didn't know if they would. So the fear of them coming out. Turns out they had given up and left years ago too.
So when you find cash in a house, I mean, you're obligated to give it to the owner, right?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, because the joy they get in that gets us so much more momentum. It lets us clean faster.
You say here you once found $45,000 in U.S. savings bond in a house.
Yep.
And the woman thought they were expired. People don't even know what they have.
She didn't know what she had. We had to explain to her the difference between maturity and expiration.
Now you're a financial advisor.
So she thought they had gone bad.
Right.
They were bad. It was free money. $45,000. We helped fund it, and this lady thought she had nothing.
So Matt, is your show's on A&E? But what do you have to do with Oprah Winfrey? She started having you on at one point.
No, that's actually how I got on. This guy, Peter Walsh, that's on there, he was not interested in doing the show, Hoarders. And so I had been bugging him for years trying to just be his guy that cleaned up after he left. I never thought I'd get on TV. I was just trying to make a living.
Right.
And he couldn't do it because he was on Oprah. And so that's how I ended up getting on. He said, no, go call this crazy guy in Virginia. He'll clean up anything. And they were literally just looking for messy houses to clean. And I just happened to get picked up. I got that one chance. They gave me about 10 minutes.
So because you're on TV, do you get more money in a sense because you're a celebrity house cleaner?
Yeah, crazy enough, I am. It's weird. I mean, I'm like the most popular trash guy in America.
And why did they start putting you on TV? Because they found that the cleanup was just as interesting as meeting the people?
I think they realized it was more than trash, and that's really what I bring to the table. I mean, to me, this is about people. We all are different. We all are fear of rejection. We're all, we all have fear of judgment. We're all trying to find self-worth, and that's really what hoarding is about. And I'm able to break it down to I'm not an educated man. I'm a recovering addict that just got lucky.
How old a guy are you?
I'm young. I'm 36. I'm still very young.
When you have to,
up early.
But when you have to clear out 45,000 pounds of shit, and by the way, I'm trying to figure out how much is the average bowel movement? A pound?
Yeah.
It just depends on the person.
I mean, how many years would it take you to build up 45,000 pounds of shit?
At least 10 years. Yeah, that's the number you want. I mean, it's 10 years of 3 or 4 times a day.
Where do you bring it, though? Like, where can you dump that?
That you can't even take to the dump, and that's what's really challenged us. Everything has to be destroyed as like medical waste because it's too messy for the city dump.
So what do you do with medical waste? Where does that go?
That has to actually go to, it's like a crematorium, and it actually has to be incinerated.
Oh,
Holy
my goodness.
Cow.
I mean, a lot of the houses, we had a house the other day, there's no way to save it. It has to be destroyed. And so it was more of a recovery situation.
So that place was so bad, You couldn't clean it.
Could not salvage it. You had to tear it down.
Just burn it down.
But it was so messy, we couldn't tear it down. We actually had to burn it.
Is that more than one person shitting in the house, or was just the one person?
No, it's one person.
Wow.
10 years. I mean, you got 3 or 4 times a day, 10 years, every day, day by day.
Are hot girls ever hoarders, or is it always just like very vile-looking people?
I think they started. A lot of them start as hot girls. I mean, it's a fine wine. You can't be a good hoarder overnight. It takes 10, 15, 20 years.
Tell the story, Matt. He cleared a house of a guy into kiddie porn, but the guy called you, right?
Yeah, and this was not on A&E. I want to make sure they always ask me to make sure clear this. This one was on our personal job.
Okay.
But we went out, and this guy, the family called us. He was having a heart disease, and he was going to die. And the family wanted to send him home so he could have hospice. So we were going and thinking, oh, this poor, sweet guy. Yeah. Well, we get there and we start realizing, wow, this is some interesting toys. This is some interesting pornography. And the deeper we got, we started finding some Polaroids, some really aggressive stuff. And it was all child pornography.
Wow.
And so we were like, what do we do here? So we called a buddy of mine as a cop, and he's like, well, actually, you have to report this. So we called the guy. Guy ends up going to jail for 3 years. He gets out of jail, fills the house up again, because we actually did clean it, and he calls us again and says, hey, can you come clean my house again? And we had just sent the guy to jail for 3 years.
And yet he wasn't...
Who else you gonna call?
He wasn't angry. One thing about those kiddie porn guys, they're very forgiving. Yeah. So you clean his house, you find kiddie porn, you report him to the police, he goes to jail, he comes back home, he says, hey, you guys were pretty good at cleaning, come on back. But you didn't find any more kiddie porn there.
Well, I told him to fuck off. I mean, we're not going to...
Oh, you didn't go. You didn't want that job.
I mean, I hire all ex-cons. My morality gauge is pretty wide open. I've guys that murder people on my team, but I will not work with a child pornographer, period. I mean, that's the one thing I won't touch.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Well, is the worst thing you ever found a dead body in a house?
I did find a dead body. The smell is unique. You'll never get that out of your head. For me...
What's that smell like? Does it smell like shit?
No. If you haven't smelt it, I mean, you can't even get it out of you. You end up shaving your head and your eyebrows because you just can't get the smell off your body.
You're saying if a body decomposes and you get the smell on you, you shave your head and your eyebrows.
I did. Yeah, I shaved my head because I couldn't get it was like, that old trick where you wipe poo under someone's nose at camp and the guy, all he smells is poo. Well, it's kind of like, I mean, that's all you smell once you find a dead body. That's the worst. That was probably the worst for me.
How long had the body been in there?
Well, that was when we were doing foreclosures in downtown D.C.
Oh.
Just knocking down doors of foreclosures for the banks. And
so that's why the person wasn't paying.
He wasn't actually delinquent.
He had a good excuse.
Yeah, he had a good excuse.
How long had he been in there? Do you have any idea?
It had to at least have been 120 days.
Wow.
We wouldn't have been in there. We wouldn't have gotten the work order. That was awful because he had killed himself and he was just laying on a chair. So the mental, and what that gets to is the mental stuff that we deal with. We're not just picking up trash. We're finding really horrible.
Do you find it hard to sleep at night, or do any of your guys get like post-traumatic stress syndrome?
The abusive ones, the ones like you'll have hoarders that are so protective of their stuff that they'll scream at you and hit you, and the abusive hoarders, they're the ones that give you the post-traumatic.
You had a hoarder try to hit you to keep you from taking all their shit out of their house.
Yeah, I had a 70-year-old lady swing at me, which was pretty funny.
Anybody make contact?
I did have an 80-year-old guy. Actually, we found out he had been beating his wife, and we called him on it, and he got really angry with us and tried to bully us, and he connected pretty square on my jaw.
He punched you in the face.
Yeah.
You're a pretty tough guy. What were you in prison for?
I didn't go to prison. I had a gambling addiction, man. I actually worked for Caesar's Palace. I'm not a tough guy. I just have seen it all now. Mm-hmm. And so once you've seen it all, every day my job is to go into someone else's rock bottom.
Right.
And so but I also on the backside is I see people come out of that, and I see the miracles happen, and I see people do good things. So for me, I don't care.
Do you find that people stay clean after you've cleaned out all this stuff?
Hell no.
Great question. No, that's a good question.
I say no way.
Well, and this is what's so good about hoarders on A&E. They pay for the aftercare, and the aftercare is the key. If they go to therapy, there's about a 60% chance they'll stay clean.
Wow.
If they don't go to therapy, it's 100% guaranteed they'll fail.
Wow.
They'll fill back up by Christmas. If they don't do there's a reason they do it, and there's a psychological reason they do it, and you got to get into the head and you got to deal with that psychological issue or it'll never get fixed.
Eric, you're on the air with Matt Paxton. Go ahead, Eric.
Hey, Howard.
Hey, now.
Hey, Papa Billy. My cousin, she's a hoarder, and she's pretty hot too. they actually did the local news did a story on her, and yeah, she's hot. I heard you mention.
Oh yeah, well I guess there are some hot chicks who hoard. I don't know. Does she collect her feces at all?
No, there's no duty or nothing. Just messy, bags and food and stuff like that.
Oh, it's so disgusting. Will, go ahead. You're on the air in St. Louis.
Hey, hi. My name's Will, and I think I worked with you, Mr. Paxton, out of St. Louis. Did a job here for the TV show Hoarders.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I was the exterminator on that one.
Yes, that was roaches everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, brown recluse.
What is it too? I imagine there's tons of bugs when you finally get to the bottom of the like if somebody collects bags and stuff. That's where bugs collect, right?
Well, the house this guy's talking about, we were putting cotton balls in our ears and taping up our assholes because there were so many roaches.
Really? You mean you were just afraid that they would actually crawl into your ear?
Yes, that was a really scary. And brown recluse spiders. I mean, you couldn't even see the top 2 feet of the house because of the spider webs.
When you say roaches, you guys, you're talking about like not just a couple of roaches. You're saying like the whole wall could be covered in roaches.
They were raining off of the ceiling.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh.
When they came in to clean this, Howard, they had to come in with a hose and spray down the walls with water because there was so much like webs and dust and stuff.
But someone was actually living in the house?
Yeah, it was what was so
3
bad.
people, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a 13-year-old boy that they had in there with them.
Oh, wow. And the roaches are raining down on their head.
Yeah.
I got to actually know these people. I've been doing their service because
they're good people, aren't they?
Yeah, they were. I never met the husband, but the wife, me and her actually really got to kind of know each other because I've been back to that house.
And did you ever say to her, how could you live with so many roaches?
Yeah, well, she blamed it on her husband. But,
well, when you get to that point in life, it's easy it's just easier to blame it on other people. And that was a triangle family that everyone was blaming on each other. But that 13-year-old kid is such a good kid. We didn't care if we were getting rained on by roaches. Right. You just wanted to help that kid, man.
So did Child Protective Services take the kid out of the home and like?
Yeah, that's how we got called in. Yeah, and he wasn't allowed back in until we cleaned it out.
Oh, they sent him back.
Well, no, the families, I don't think they're back in, are they?
No, not yet. They still. Well, see, what ended up happening is because everything went so wrong and the cleanup and everything. The house, they came in and sanitized the inside of the house, but it's never been cleaned yet.
Wow.
So you still walk in there. The kitchen floor is like walking on peanut butter. I mean, everything. It's unreal. It's just ungodly.
Yeah, and that was a house where really, if the family had the financial options, they really should tear it down and start over.
Right.
But
it's that bad.
Yeah, and the A&E can only do but so much. I mean, we're not. No one's millionaires, so you can't just throw. There's a budget, and we can only do but so much.
No. Listen, you gave them a start. Do you think they'd take over?
Yeah, you're there to clean.
Well, and for us, I mean, we have to put a lot of money into the therapy afterwards because without that, the house is going to fill up regardless.
Yeah, right. They'll go right back to their. It's weird too because like you wonder just like why did they let themselves get in this situation? But it's mental illness, right? There's no rational.
Right. Absolutely. There's a problem.
Yeah.
Nobody would rationally do this. They can't. You just can't help it. And they don't want to do this. They're good people. It started off with one bad decision.
Right.
But you'd think there may be one person like that.
Yeah, right.
This is a whole
It's an epidemic,
series.
evidently. Yeah.
There's millions. And the show blew the doors off it. Now there's a ton of shows about it, which is great because I always say it's the next alcoholism. I mean, in the 50s, people were like, it was so embarrassing to say your uncle was an alcoholic. Now you say my uncle's in AA, and you're like, good for him. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it takes I guess it takes some of the secrecy out of it. Yeah. But, what I always say, it starts with just one shit in the tub, and then you're hooked.
The first time you do that, just realize.
I heard that, I tell you.
Yeah. Hey, Will in St. Louis, thanks for the call. Are you coming over to America's Got Talent?
Actually, I got tickets for Saturday at 11 o'clock.
All right, I'll say hi to you.
Thanks, Howard.
All right, later, man.
Hey, that guy Will, I remember him now. He actually gave his services for free to help that family.
Wow. Hey, Will, you're a good dude.
We try.
I bet. All right. Good man, Will. See, my fans are good people.
I'm learning there's good people everywhere. You just got to give them opportunities to be good.
Right. I fortunately don't give anybody opportunities.
Well, you know what? This will change my life. You're giving a lot of people awareness.
Take one last call, Matt. I've held on to you long enough, but let me. You got to get back to cleaning. But
yeah, Kirk, I wonder how bad you have to be to make it on the TV show.
Yeah, I know. Any big job today, Matt? You going out anywhere?
No, I'm home all week. We start filming again next week. For us, Robin, the saddest thing is most of the time I'll go into a house now and I have to tell them that their house isn't messy enough for me to clean it.
When you hire ex-cons to work for you, how do you know which ones you can trust?
We go through a program that they've been sober for 2 years. And
I see.
You can't trust all of them, but there's a lot of those dudes are, those guys. I want the ones that if they sneeze wrong, they're going back to prison tomorrow.
Kirk, right? They have something to lose. Hey, Kirk, go ahead. You have the last word with Matt.
Hey, Howard, does this Matt guy ever worry or have like a health scare with hepatitis or SARS from cleaning up these dirty fucking people?
He's wearing a hazmat suit.
I do. I get.
Yeah, but you ever got poked or anything where you're like, oh shit?
We do walk out if we see needles. We walk out. That's the only thing we'll say no to, and our shots are up to date like you wouldn't believe.
If you walk into a house and you see some like drug addicts who are living there and there's exposed needles, you will walk out and refuse the job.
Yeah, you're on your own. I'm not going to die for these. I'll almost die for them, but I'm not going to die for them.
You'll clean their shit, but you ain't cleaning their needles.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Matt, thank you, and Kirk, thank you. Matt Paxton on the season finale of Hoarders. Oh, Sour Shoes has a question. How can you refuse him? Matt, one last question. Yes, Sour Shoes.
Hi, Matt. Matt, when you have to clean up the poo-poo in the house when it's in the living room, is it in 5-gallon buckets, or how is the poo? Is it on the floor, or is it...
Sour Shoes, I thought you were going to ask. He's asking in his baby voice.
I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's in buckets, sometimes it's just laying in open diapers, and sometimes it's on the wall.
There you go. All right. I shouldn't have gone to that. All right, let's just say also check out Matt's podcast, available on iTunes at 5decisionsaway.com. Hey, Matt, fascinating.
Hey, guys, thanks so much for the time. I really appreciate you letting everybody know about this.
I might have to call you in for helping out with cleaning out JD's office. I'm seeing a lot of magazines and things.
Absolutely, bring it. I'll do it. I'll clean up anything.
All right, Matt.
Guys, thanks so much.
Later.
Thank God for
interesting
him.
work, actually. Yeah, thank God for him.
He found a niche and he filled it.
Crazy stuff, right?
They say that's the best way to do, to get into a business.
That's what they say.
Find something nobody else is doing.
I found a business. No one's willing to clean up 45,000 pounds of some human feces. I think I'm onto something.
I think I'm onto something.
Good for him, though. Covering addict.
He's giving other people second chances. It's a good deal.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That was great. That was great. The best line was when he goes, "We were putting cotton balls in our ears and taping up our assholes." Are you a hoarder?
Not like that, but I can understand, not for feces, but I can understand how it's hard to make decisions about, like, paper.
Well, my parents are so the opposite.
Oh, my God.
They don't allow anything to stay in the house. Like, you couldn't save anything. I mean, that story about my comic books is tip of the iceberg. I mean, they go through that house, if they see... It's...
Well, you have a little of that in your
history. Now I do. I used to be a big slob, but
because you sometimes you'll get here and you'll just go like you do one thing that makes me crazy because it's your parents and my parents. You have the ability to push a whole stack of stuff out without looking at it. Oh, yeah. I got to look at everything.
No, sometimes you have to just do that. But you realize you haven't looked at it in months.
I know, but you can't. There's something in there. There's got to be some. That's my fucking parents.
My parents, literally, their home is void of any personal details. Like, they'll throw everything out.
If they were moving, they wouldn't have to do anything. The house is ready to show.
It's ready to go.
And I love that.
I don't have to go in and clean anything.